Trying to make a point that Gen 1 is extremely glitchy and doesn't work properly, and I wish that person was there when I was playing Daikatana. Oh, you're not playing it right. It's like, oh yeah. Please tell me how you play this expert FPS right so it doesn't bug out on me.
Now we're live.
Yes, we are. I have discovered I can turn my computer bright green, by the way, so that will work quite well.
Yeah, you could have the full Daikatana experience.
I think I'm looking at it right now. we are the same as usual. I am Teapot.
I'm Cole. What's up?
And I'm Crossenders.
Yay.
And we're...
I blame Sinnoh. Sinnoh's just a horrible place.
Yeah, I blame Sinnoh.
Yeah, it's Matt Coronet. Matt Coronet's electromagnetism has screwed up the stream.
I've yet to find anything that cannot be adequately blamed on Matt Coronet, to be honest.
Matt Coronet is just a menace to society. Like, Matt Coronet is the reason Donald Trump is president. It's the reason, you know.
I have a feeling you were somehow going to bring Trump into this.
It is the reason why England is not going to be bringing football home. It is the reason. It is the reason why Neymar is still rolling down the street as we speak.
Oh yeah. And it is the reason that we've all heard Despacito? I don't know.
Despacito?
I've never tried to say it out loud because that's how little I care.
Yeah.
It slightly ruined the joke though, never mind.
Yes, it is the reason for the Unova anime. That is correct.
That'll do, yeah.
Matt Coronet's fault.
Yeah.
Iris's hair, Matt Coronet's fault.
It's about the same size.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Ash
dear.
being a complete idiot, Matt Coronet, again.
Yeah.
And who? Yep. Who do you think? Who do you think stole the whites out of Silent's eyes as well?
Oh, hi, Tom.
Did Matt Coronet stop Ash from aging all these years? Absolutely. Yes, it did.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Hey, wait a minute. You said ass. That should be in the swear jar too.
Not in this country.
No, that's true.
Well, you know.
You kicked his donkey. That's a terrible thing. You're an animal abuser.
Is your sound on? Apparently we can't hear you, Stel. Stream can't hear you. Is it turned up in OBS?
I can hear us.
Yeah, they can hear the desktop audio, but not the mic, I believe. This is really overtly complicated.
Well, to be fair, we have plugged like 4 mics into it.
Yeah.
1 sec. Whoa! Okay. Hi.
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 Is that better, chat?
Yeah, can you hear everybody
Yeah,
now?
I can hear Gad on chat. That's all good.
It's alright,
Okay,
you know.
great. That's...
Zark Almighty, can we not have one stream ever that does not have some kind of a technical issue?
No, no, because you're in Sinnoh.
We are cursed.
I know,
We'll
right?
get there in the end.
Well, you know.
Oh dear. Anyway, so now that I'm actually here, it's time to actually remember what on earth I was even doing. Let's see. I mean,
Suffering.
Sounds about right.
yeah,
Yeah,
Mikuka is
I mean,
suffering.
no, it's platinum. It kind of just is suffering in a sense.
And it's, yeah, pretty much. Now, let's see.
We like Pokemon, honest.
Yeah, we like Pokemon. I just don't like this one.
I
Yeah.
just have I have some issues with Sinnoh, but generally I don't hate it as much as things. But it's kind of, at this point, it's kind of a meme, to be honest. That
Yeah,
Sinnoh
I
is
play it up for laughs.
as
I've
Sinnoh
always
goes.
I've always thought of it as a region of two halves because there's a lot about it that genuinely is terrible. Like whichever way, you know, as nice as you try and be, the Pokedex selection in Diamond and Pearl was just
absolutely
abominable.
terrible. Yes,
Yeah.
Platinum at least
And-
fixed that.
Yeah, and the actual routes themselves, like I say, a lot of them could stand to be better. Especially when you're on top of the mountain and the game decides, yeah, going at normal speed is not for you.
Oh yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, you know, a lot of the Pokemon it introduced are, I mean, I know a lot of us have a favourite Pokemon that come from Sinnoh.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that's true.
definitely. Okay, so
When Gen 4 did
right.
well, it did very well. But the problem is, it didn't do well very often.
Yeah, at least mechanically, a lot of the stuff it brought to the formula was genuinely good. But should we say popularising the physical special split to
Yeah,
avoid controversy?
like that. Yeah. Because let's be honest, XD Gale of Darkness needs more love and attention. So
This is true.
to be perfectly honest, I mean, there's a lot of general awesomeness about that particular I'd say quasi-generation because it's not exactly Generation 3, but it's not exactly anything else either. They had a lot of good ideas, and then they kind of derped with some of the execution.
Yeah.
I almost wonder if it had become more of an ongoing series. So rather than one game and its half sequel, if they'd actually gone and done a proper sequel, perhaps in the Gen 4 days.
That could have been really cool.
Yeah, I wonder if they had time to kind of mature a little bit. It could have been really rather interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you always had this problem where, you know, Game Freak are kind of adamant that it's not it's a handheld series only, and we don't really want to do console games. And,
Well, now that they have the Switch, they don't exactly have a choice.
No, they
well,
don't.
there is that. Yeah.
See, I would actually be kind of interested if they ever did remake Generation 4. I would actually like to see them do it, one, on the Switch, and two, do it Breath of the Wild style.
That'd
be fine.
Never going to happen, but it's...
It's never gonna happen. No, the chance of it happening is zero.
We can dream, Harold.
Yeah. But like the idea of because I think Sinnoh, with the way Mount Coronet is, as much as I've insulted Mount Coronet repeatedly over the last few minutes,
Correctly.
A Breath of the Wild style map with that in the middle would actually work really well, I think.
It could. I mean,
it would. You'd have to basically strip the game and the region down to its bones.
yeah, and that's actually, considering the way the remakes have been handled so far, they've been so they've been so obsessed with being true to the worst elements of the game while making up trying to fix things that weren't broken. That's just
Yeah, I think it's I mean, we do have this whole thing where the development team is getting younger because of the younger guys are coming on and being given more power, and I think that will contribute a lot to the game's improving going forward. So I'm not necessarily I am worried because of the what happened with ORAS and everything, that there might be an issue there, but I'm also kind of optimistic because they don't seem to mind anymore throwing things at the wall just to see what sticks, and we've been waiting for 15-20 years, so basically 20 years for them to start.
It's been 3,000 years.
We've been waiting for 3,000 years for them to start doing something.
Yeah.
And so it's nice to see they've finally
tried.
Got around to it.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're taking steps towards trying to shake the formula up a bit, and I think
I think they're trying to do it a little bit cautiously, I think.
Because they're Japanese.
It does make sense, although I do think at some point you're gonna have to just throw caution out the window and just go absolutely crazy, because I think Pokemon's in a position now where it's pretty much safe. You would have to really, really mess it up on a other M or worse level scale.
Yeah, I mean, this is... I was going to try and think of an example that wasn't other M to illustrate this point, because we bashed it enough, but...
There isn't one, really, is there?
There isn't some. Well, not really. I mean, you can kind of, I suppose Junior can...
Mega Latios did look sick. It looked sick because its arms were broken!
I mean,
they were bent the wrong way!
Yeah, Junior can Forever, I suppose, for different reasons, but I think there's a few games and a few sort of series, as it were, that kind of prove nothing is really sacred. There is...
No, there isn't.
You look at Harvest Moon, for example.
Yeah.
Which
Why
was
would
brilliant.
you look at Harvest Moon?
Well, yeah. Harvest Moon 64, brilliant, absolutely superb game, and then immediately got left behind. And then, a plucky chap on his own decides to make, let's just make a Harvest Moon knockoff. Put it out on Steam, thought, this will be alright. And people played it and thought, this Stardew Valley thing is amazing.
Yeah.
And now it's made him millions. And... he's actually got a development team on it and everything. And it's just because Harvest Moon spent so long resting on its laurels that people got bored of it.
Yeah.
You're going to have that less so with Pokemon because it's so big.
I think another example I've just thought of, going on to the point where, there is when you say nothing sacred, I think the best example of that, thinking in recent times, is Sonic.
Yeah, actually,
when
that is a good...
think about how far Sonic has fallen over the years.
It's everywhere.
consider where Sonic used to be.
It's less fallen and just kind of flailed between
it's
okay and terrible and...
Yeah, I guess if it fell from grace at all, that was 20 years ago, really, because that was like around the Sonic Adventure sort of time.
Yeah.
And obviously Sonic Mania is an interesting example of almost the opposite of what's happening with Pokemon, which is it's gone way back to its roots.
Oh, Snap manages to not murder this one. Oh, good, managed to.
I've got to say, I did actually play Sonic Mania at a con, and I really enjoyed it. I don't know what it is. Every time I end up going to places that like have random games there, I always end up playing Sonic.
Same actually.
I don't know what it is. Like there's a gaming bar next to where I live, like 10 minutes away.
I need something
from my
to break rocks.
I was playing Sonic 2 pretty much the entire night. Go to this con, I'm playing Sonic Mania. It's always Sonic. I don't know why.
Yeah, I think I ended up playing Sonic Mania at EGX. I think through through the and I could be wrong, but I think through the fluke of cues, I think I ended up playing it before Alex.
I can't remember.
I don't know. I can't imagine I just make that up. But on the other hand, I might have just made that up.
I know Alex played it for a long time.
He did. I played a single session, which was 10 minutes. I thought it was really good, because with Mania, you kind of had, like I say, almost the opposite of what Pokemon kind of needs, which is it got rid of all the fluff and all the frivolity and took it back to what worked.
Yeah.
Really.
Pokemon needs to do the opposite, as you say. It needs to just kick the door down and go crazy. Because they can get away with it.
I can't even call it Holy Derp, so it's just gonna have to be Holy Derp.
Yeah.
The Holy D, just call it that.
You could always just disembowel it.
I tried. Holy Derp just doesn't work.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Holy Derp.
Basically,
Holy Derp works.
Yeah. Basically, the only reason I need one of these right now is for rock smashing purposes, because if you can't smash some rocks, you can't get anywhere in this game.
Nope.
This is true.
Welcome to Generation HM.
Can I just repeat my complaint from last week for this game? There's 8 hidden machines. 8!
Yeah,
Could have been worse though. I could have had 11.
And one of them's Defog, which they didn't even buff to be useful until like 2 or 3 generations later.
Yeah,
they actually made it worse.
Yeah, exactly. I think in this particular generation, it actually made things bad for your team.
Yeah.
I actually said to people like, Defog is the worst move in the game. And they're like, how can it be the worst move in the game when Splash is there? And I'm like, dude, Splash at least helps no one.
Yeah.
It literally does nothing. Defog actively helped your opponent win.
It does. It's ridiculous. I mean, when did they change it? I can't remember.
I think it was Gen 6 they changed it so it clears the hazards off both sides.
That's it. It still doesn't.
A lot better.
It is a lot better. It's still not ideal, but it'll do.
It's not ideal, but you can make it work. And to be fair, a lot more things have access to it than Rapid Spin. So
that's true.
The Rapid Spin, Rapid just throw a ghost in front of it, and it's like
Rapid Spin has the disadvantage of being a physical move and a contact move and a normal move, so it can be blocked relatively easily. Although
Defog, on the flip side, you can taunt to stop it, and Bisharp can happen.
That's true.
And he just steps in and gets a free Swords Dance boost off of you.
Basically,
That's
where Primeape can do that as well, and I'm surprised more people don't use Primeape, to be honest, because he's quicker.
Something Super Saiyans.
Dear.
And there's Looker.
One of the cases where having the options really worked, though, because they were different enough eventually, well, once Gen 6 fixed anyway, where both are viable. So it's just what you want, which is nice. And I think the game needs more of that, really. In the competitive side, I mean.
It appears to be nobody's shame City.
So, I mean, Primeape's actually got pretty good stats. If you stick like a choice band on it and then just switched it into a Defiant, then you just go crazy.
Yeah.
Food for thought. If you ever want to use Primeape in a competitive battle, give it a go.
I should probably try. Primeape was one of the first Pokemon I ever trained, because of Brock. Although, like I say, my very first Pokemon team, which I remember clearly because I was about 6 and not very smart. It was Pokemon Yellow, so it was obviously Pikachu, and it was a vastly over-leveled Pikachu. I think it was about level 80 by the time I beat the Elite Four.
So it's Red's Pikachu.
Look who's here.
Yeah, absolutely. No, hang on, I'll wait for a bit.
Oh, Gog, this is one of the most... Here is the most insidious evil team in the entire history of the Pokemon series. Is it because they're an evil cult that worships their leader who is playing them like a cheap kazoo? Is it because of their goals to completely reboot the universe, which they're not even aware of? No, this is because of that stupid hair! You don't need the international police, you need the fashion police!
That helmet hair is ridiculous.
I mean, if you're criticizing villain hair, then you really have to mention Lysandra.
Well, naturally, but Lysandra is actually kind of professional about this. Also,
this is true.
Fair, I mean, Team Fair are terrible anyway, so I mean. It's
also, fun fact: this is—I'm not sure why they removed it in Platinum, but in Diamond and Pearl, when you actually talked to them about this, they were like, "Failure to comply will result in massive damage to your assistant."
Yeah,
presumably, they were going to attack her weak spot with a giant enemy crab. I love how matter-of-fact Rowan is here.
What's that, a Kingler or something after saying that?
I absolutely love how completely blasé Rowan is about this.
I was actually talking to my brother a little bit off the topic. I was talking to my brother about a certain gym leader in Johto who shares a name with a character from a rather popular cartoon. I don't think you have to guess what I'm talking about. Okay, it's Morty.
Oh, damn. You ruined the joke.
Yeah. So I was like, wouldn't it? You know what they should do if they ever remade Gen 2 again? Is make his battle like a tag battle. And he has a teammate called Rick. And all Rick does is spam explosion. And because Morty's got ghosts, he won't get hit by it, but you will.
Oh, God.
Ooh,
that would be quite useful. That would be quite nice, sorry. It'd be quite fun.
So, yeah. Gym 4 after Whitney is literally Rick and Morty.
Oh boy. I did like how they turned the, Tate and Liza fight into a double battle.
Yes, I thought that was really clever. They need to do more of that, I think.
I think so, because I think the trap that you fall into with the gym leaders is you get like a different puzzle, which is relatively easy per gym, and you get like obviously a different type, and it's a bit harder. But otherwise, there's not that much distinction between them.
There isn't really.
So it would be nice if you actually had to deal with different strategies as well. Things like, yeah, here's a double battle, or here's
rotation, or triple, or inverse, maybe.
Or even something really silly like you only allowed 2 Pokemon. I don't know, maybe that wouldn't work. But things like that. At the very least, I think the gyms should be not like really hard, but have some kind of challenge to them where they're not necessarily going to curb stomp everyone, but they're going to make you kind of adapt a little bit.
Yeah, it's going to give them some kind of advantage.
Yeah.
Well, one thing that I kind of thought they should possibly do, I don't think they'll ever do it, but is to make sort of like have some sort of permanent weather or terrain effect that benefits the gym leader's type.
That would be brilliant.
Can't get rid of it.
Well, I mean, you can just have a fire gym leader, open up with, I don't know.
He's just got permanent sunlight.
Yeah,
permanent harsh sunlight even.
Yeah, permasun or whatever, and that would be good. I think they kind of hinted at doing something like this a little bit, just really, really badly.
Yes.
With the totem battles in Sun and Moon, because of course they could call allies, which was, I mean, it ended up just being stupid and cheap, but I get what they were going for.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the totem battles kind of, I can see what they're trying to do, but it kind of went in the exact opposite direction as intended, because pretty much all the totem Pokemon can be beaten in the exact same way.
Yeah.
I love how they just basically completely and utterly just attack the penguin. That's it. They just completely ignore O-Snap. It's just a penguin.
Well, to be fair, O-Snap is considerably more durable than the penguin.
Yes, but they didn't even try to attack it. They just tried to punch the penguin in its stupid face.
Obviously, they know better.
What would you do?
Well, exactly, but still.
Jim, it's a flappy bird. No.
Skylar's gym would do that, though she would
probably.
Actually. Like, oh yeah, we're going to do that.
Yeah.
That would be just up her alley.
She would literally she'd try and get you hooked on that game so she doesn't have to battle you.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yep.
See, I don't know how much truth there is behind this, but I kind of like imagine Skylar as just being low-key like an absolutely horrible person.
She really kind of strikes me as that, to be perfectly honest. I think one of the reasons that made me really dislike her is the fact that she kind of sort of stole Jasmine's dealie, except that, you know, Jasmine actually seems to actually care about the whole Ampharos thing. And then, you know, Skylar's like, oh, by the way, I just kind of saw a Pokemon on top of that tower, and I, like, just healed it. You know, I just landed there and healed it because I'm, like, so super special, awesome, and I have an airplane, and I'm, like, so good that I will just see one from the sky and just kind of heal it. Yeah, I mean, I just kind of wasted your time by going through all this tower, but I'm so amazing. Oh, by the way, go ring the bell.
Ring your bell at the minute.
That's a good thing.
I'm guessing you're attempting a Valley Girl accent with that?
Kind of. I mean, I have no idea what I was doing exactly, because I kind of got distracted.
A silly voice.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was kind of slightly there, but I guess it's just too low of a standard for you to kind of sink yourself to.
Probably. It's also midnight 25, and I can't really go completely hog wild with my voices, so.
Yeah, that's valid.
Fair.
See, I remember. Oh, Togedemaru. I beat that just by sticking out something with a lightning rod as well.
Oh yeah, that'll help.
I basically,
then,
my recent run, I just basically kind of ran over Skyla with just a Sigilif with the electric Zappy TM move. I forgot the name of right now. Charge Beam.
Charge Beam, yeah.
Nice.
Also, because Totem Battles are completely terrible and worthless, I kept Growl on my Pikachu for absolutely ages, so that plus Lightning Rod basically made Togedemaru completely impotent.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then I kind of just slowly slapped it to death while it did absolutely nothing back.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what I mean in terms of the challenge of it, because it did do that. It just paired it with being really annoying.
It's like that's one thing I really didn't like about Turn Battles. It's like I'm literally keeping Growl on my Pokemon until level 40 because it beats all of them.
Yeah, it definitely a bit of a swing and a miss situation.
Yeah, so it's like. Pretty much every single time fight is spam Growl and you basically win.
It was a cool idea with really horrible execution. That's basically
the thing. It was very bad execution, if I'm honest. Like, yeah. And I know some people do enjoy them, but to me it's just like, yeah, I'm just going to spam Growl and then win. Because...
Yeah, sorry, go on.
Sorry, no, I mean, I was just going to say, I enjoyed them for what they were, but I recognise that they were not great.
Yeah, exactly, basically.
I do like the idea of them, though.
They're a good idea. They just need to find some way of making it so you can't just beat them all in the exact same manner. I mean, granted, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon were a bit better about it.
What did they change?
They made them all a bit more challenging.
Yeah, they're a bit harder, and they did change out some of them. Like, what's his name? What the hell is he called? What's it? Oh, what is it? Wishy-Washy. That's it.
Wishy-Washy, yeah.
He got replaced with Araquanid, and he actually has a way of dealing with grass types.
Oh yeah, the Aurora Beam. Oh my god, that was a complete Pingus move, to be perfectly honest. I did not expect it. I appreciated it though.
Especially if your grass type is Rowlet, in which case Rowlet just gets knocked over like instantly.
Yeah, it was not fun.
What else is there? What's it? Salazzle is no longer there. It's a Marowak.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And Salazzle was pathetic anyway, so that was fine. I don't think they changed Lurantis, but I don't know.
Lurantis is around, but they forgot to give it the cast form. I mean, they made it less likely to appear, which was a shame because that particular thing kind of made the whole game a lot angrier.
I did, but again, I kind of reached the point. It's like send out fire type, spam Growl, win. So that again was to me just like whatever. Okay, right.
Basically, the thing with Lurantis is that Salazzle actually really hard counters it.
Yes, it does. To be fair, Growlithe does a good job of countering it as well.
I didn't have one though.
Yeah. What? Who else? I can't remember. Like Mimikyu was kind of the same. Togedemaru replaced the what's it?
Vikavolt.
Yeah, Vikavolt. Vikavolt was terrible. He was so easy. And
That's
to be fair,
actually one thing
Togedemaru wasn't better.
the one thing that pissed me off about the Default thing was the fact that, you know, they actually had it do everything right, except they made it physical. I mean...
See, I do actually wonder, though, like, if that Vikavolt, if the Totem Vikavolt did use special moves, would you actually be able to beat it?
Maybe. I don't know. Depends on
or
what
would it just run you over and you just die? Because I'm feeling that might happen to a lot of people.
Maybe, you know, maybe they actually tried that, but somewhere in the playtesting it was like, yeah, the reasonable player, i.e. the 12-year-old noob, would not be able to get past that. Sorry.
And the thing is, though, is like, now I think about it, it's like, yeah, there's that, but then they stuck Ultra Necrozma in the next game.
Pretty much.
Who did pretty much exactly what I would expect a special Totem Vikavolt to do to somebody. Except even worse, because it's fast.
Yeah.
Ultra Necrozma basically was a fine example of the game's, you know what breaks the game most of all? Pokemon Refresh. Seriously, basically the way I got past that Mega Necrozma battle was Ultra Necrozma battle was by
same thing.
Yeah, I basically kind of I just kind of tanked a hit with Refresh, and then I used the Decidueye Z move, and it just
if you love your Pokemon, then they will fight for you and they'll win.
You became friends with Yosuke. Yosuke will now die for you.
Yeah,
I just threw an Aegis Slash out in front of it and was just like, yeah, you lose.
I do like the hacks, which I think is the only appropriate way to refer to it, really. It is hacks, though. So it's kind of
cheap, but I suppose it does make sense when you think about it. Like it results in anime moments, basically, when you think about it.
It does, and I'm all for anime moments. Like I am a total sucker. Why do you think I like Mega Evolutions? It ain't for what they did to the competitive scene.
Digivolving Pokemon is kind of fun within the actual in-game / lore sort of environment.
Very much so, yeah. I mean, you're talking to someone who watched far too much Sailor Moon and Cardcaptor Sakura as a kid. So,
I watched Dragon Ball, so you know everyone's.
Same thing.
I watched all of the above.
Yeah, I watched Dragon Ball as well. To be fair, Sailor Moon was the first thing I thought of, but.
I mean, the first time I saw Mega Lucario, the first thing I thought is, that's Ichigo's Bankai.
Pretty much. That's pretty much it.
It's the same thing. You know, it's Bleach. This game has become Bleach. And, I mean, as much as I rag on the Mega Evolutions for completely ruining the balance of the game.
Again, rightly.
I still used them.
Yeah.
You know, I can't deny I jumped on that bandwagon too because they worked and they were fun, you know.
They were brilliant fun. I mean, even just kind of seeing it, like going into a big battle and seeing your Pokemon Mega Evolve, it's like, this is great, you know. Pokemon, I think, has always suffered a little bit from, because it's a JRPG and because it's turn-based, you always lose out on opportunities for Rule of Cool.
Yeah,
and they're much more fond of putting in, let's say, things like a Lola Photo Club than giving you, you know, more opportunities for basically being a badass.
Another thing that crashes the game for no good reason.
Yep. But you also have kind of a problem where it's much more difficult to kind of have the sort of Rule of Cool stuff in something like Pokemon, especially because it has to be competitively balanced as well.
Yeah, and they kind of lost their way a bit with that, I think, over the years.
I think power creep is perhaps the right word to use.
Power creep is definitely the right word to use. I mean, the funny thing is when you look back at Generation 1 and see what the most powerful stuff and strongest, best stuff back then was, and you compare that to today, it's hilarious just how different some of it is.
Yeah. Like, you think that basically a hard counter to Gen 1, obviously apart from Mewtwo, was Alakazam.
Yeah, the funny thing is that if you talk about Gen 1 and the way their OU meta was, and then they're like, what was the best Pokemon in Gen 1 singles? It was Tauros. It was joke, it was Tauros.
Yeah.
And when you think about who uses Tauros now, like how good is Tauros now? You never see anybody use it. That's, you know.
I think, and to some extent, I think Pokemon's a little bit like a card game in that regard, in that there will always be new Pokemon that supersede the old ones.
Oh yeah.
But it's kind of a shame because it has changed so much.
War has changed.
I mean, that being said, that is one good thing that Mega Evolution did do, is bring some of the ones that had fallen to power creep back into the fold.
Yeah.
Same with Alolan forms, really.
Alolan
forms again, yeah, the same thing. A lot of them did kind of bring stuff up that kind of needed it. Like Ninetales, Ninetales kind of dropped off a bit. And now we've got a snowy one, and it's like, right, cool, Ninetales.
Because it comes with snow warning, doesn't it?
Comes with snow warning, gets Aurora Veil, gets Blizzard.
Aurora Veil is kind of vicious.
Did they give Sun to one of them as well? I can't remember which one it was.
Well, Ninetales regular got Drought.
Drought, yeah.
Oh, wow, okay, cool. Oh, of course, hidden ability. Yeah.
But the thing is a load of Ninetales, on top of being an ice type that got to spam Blizzard free, was also is actually faster than the original one. So that put it in a good position to be
I think
a fast alternative to a Bomber Snow, which really worked.
Yeah, I think if we ever see Megas brought back again, I would love to see them combined with maybe they won't be called Alolans, but you know what I mean, regional forms.
It would be interesting to see.
Yeah, because you can take a lot of Pokemon that have been kind of forgotten over the years.
Oh, damn.
Like, one Pokemon I used to use a little bit, and I forgot it existed temporarily, is the Clamperl line, Gorobis and...
yeah.
Like, I totally forgot it existed for a while, because you never see them.
Oh, damn it. This is not...
And so oh, yeah, that's not great. A mess of, a Alolan...
There's a game going on.
Yeah, occasionally I'm watching.
Yeah, we're watching. It's all good.
Yeah.
I originally intended to catch this one, but then it turned out to have Poison Point, and no. I like Natural Cure. Poison Point a bit less so. Oh.
Poison Point's pretty terrible.
It is a bit, yeah.
Oh, and of course I don't actually have any antidotes. So,
yeah,
this game doesn't give you any.
That's why when I finally remembered to go to the mart, I bought basically 2 of everything.
Yeah.
And that's for moments like this. Eventually, you just get full heals and just spam them.
Yeah,
but...
I completely forgot. I mean, it's been way too long since I've actually played this generation, so... And there you have this a-hole.
I did actually, when I was doing my little practice Nuzlocke of Gen 1, I did actually get something poison. I was like, oh wait, poison can knock me out in this.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Yes! The problem is, it's a problem that can be solved by just buying loads and loads of antidotes.
It is, although to be fair, like, out of all the Pokemon on my team, only one of them can actually be poisoned out of the 3, because the other 2 are poison types, so...
Gotcha.
So I kind of unintentionally covered myself from poison. Although, to be honest, I mean... It's hard to really call it a Nuzlocke due to the fact that I've basically just exploited the game and the rules of the thing. Well, literally, I started off with Bulbasaur, so yeah, that's there. Looked at getting a Nidoran from the other route, so yeah, we've got Nidoking now, right? And then I just bought the Magikarp dude's Magikarp and turned it into a Gyarados before Misty, and it's like, well, I've won now, basically, haven't I?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, just get an Abra somehow, and you've
get an Abra. Great. Go get a bunch of repels. Go to the power plant. Spam them. Get Zapdos because it's the first thing that's going to turn up whilst you're spamming repels.
True.
Naturally.
It's like hard mode, really? No, it's just an alternative. It's not hard.
Yep.
Unless you're glowing God of War.
Yeah. God. What a special case.
Yeah. Still having to sit in, remembering the noobs, so you don't have to.
I did like the idea of doing challenges, especially in the earlier games, though, because I think there's a lot of like Nuzlocke isn't one of them because I think it's so easy to exploit.
It's easy to exploit. It's kind of, and to be honest, it's boring.
Yeah.
Like, it's I don't feel like I'm doing anything that much different than what I would normally do, except I'm kind of try-harding it in a sense.
Don't really need it. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's just not fun.
It just makes you really cautious, and it doesn't really...
It's just a more cautious playthrough, but because you're being more cautious, you're kind of try-harding the hell out of it. And it's like, to me, that's really not... Like, I've played competitive, I try hard in that. I don't want to have to do it in the main game, you know?
Yeah. It's why I quite like when you did the yellow baby cup.
Yeah, I might try and do that again on stream just to if people want to see that.
Entire team is babies.
That would be fun, just to prove how badly you can break the game with nothing but an Abra.
Abra kind of did dominate that whole thing. Like I mean, to be fair, it's got 105 special. Like that's on par with fully evolved Pokemon. That is.
It's huge.
You know, and it's a psychic type, which is horribly overpowered in Gen 1. So Abra by itself does a huge amount of work in that game.
Yeah.
I mean, the full team I used in that, and I might try and use it again, or unless somebody wants me to use something different, I'll see. But when I did it, I beat the game with Pikachu, Charmander, Abra, and Staryu was the final team.
That makes sense, yeah.
Staryu just had the move pool, like you could just you had so much coverage. It was, you know, you're hitting super effective on at least something like Staryu against Lance. Staryu just ran Lance over because you were just spamming Ice Beam and Blizzard.
Yeah, because I mean, the Staryu line, well, Starmie specifically, was always really useful and competitive for quite a lot of years.
Yeah, and in Little Cup, Staryu's very strong as well by itself.
Yeah, because it's basically just Bolt Beam and
Bolt Beam Surf.
That's it.
And then whatever in the last slot, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, just basically a coverage move.
Yeah, and then for Abra, you just stick Psychic on it, and it's like, yeah, fine, done.
Yeah, it's another one that could do with a decent Alolan, because it's kind of fallen to power creep as well.
Alolan Alakazam, I would like that, yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting if they actually did like something interesting with its type too. I mean, yeah, sure, keep it a Psychic something, but make it like Psychic.
Make it a
something.
Bug type. Make it a Bug type. Make it
actually,
a Bug Psychic type.
Actually, hilariously enough, Project Frameshift, which is kind of on ice but is still planned to go on, actually does the Bug type with the Abra line, because they look like it. They have the exoskeleton. They just need a slight adjustment to make them look a bit buggier.
Instead of it's like mustache.
Yeah, instead of the mustache, exactly.
And give it wings. Like wings. Yeah. Put wings on that.
Probably.
Yeah,
Which it already looks like it's got a carapace, doesn't it?
It does. That's exactly what I was saying here. Yeah.
So yeah, a Bug Psychic Alakazam. That's Alolan Alakazam. Let's make that happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, Abra just beats Gen 1 like in the face. Like it's like whatever. I'm not sure exactly how people manage to find Gen 1 hard, considering how Abra breaks the game. It's like, well, if you can get Alakazam, then you basically win.
Why are they all males?
And then Pikachu just kind of did its thing. Light Screen is pretty strong.
Yeah.
And Charmander, you think, oh, what's Charmander going to do? It's like, well, we've got two people with Thunder Wave, and I've got Fire Spin, and Fire Spin's broken, so there you go.
And Fire Spin's broken, so there you go.
Yeah, like Fire Spin is like it's the same with Wrap. Whilst you're in Fire Spin, you can't do anything.
Yeah, I remember that.
So if you keep getting hit, and if you're slower than the other person, which they're going to be because I paralysed them, then it's like, well, you're trapped in Fire Spin forever.
Basically, it seems the game has decided to be really annoying on me with the Baju front.
So yeah, I might do a Gen 1 Little Cup, maybe.
That'd be quite fun. I think just because, like I say, it'd be interesting to kind of show off that sort of high level play.
I wouldn't call it high level, but
well, high level in terms of how to put a team together and why. So even under the sort of
explain the reasoning behind it. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, I think it's a bit more.
And all that is holy. A natural cure.
I mean, there's only so much of a high level you can really reach when it's like you're literally just spamming Psychic.
True, but at least you can go through why you're doing what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a look and see what other things I can, because I don't really want to try. I don't really want to use the same team again necessarily.
Yeah, I mean, maybe keep kind of the cornerstone, but swap it out for something else. I mean, it could be kind of an interesting experiment to deliberately cripple yourself in a couple of ways and see.
It could be, or I could have just found something quite cool I could use. That being Slowpoke.
Ooh, yes.
Because Amnesia is an absolutely ridiculous move in Generation 1.
I'd like that. That would be quite good.
Yeah, basically Amnesia in Generation 1, it's basically Amnesia as normal and Nasty Plot at the same time.
Oh, Ariel, cool.
Which is part of the reason why
Your
Mewtwo
natural
is
cure. Hell yeah.
Stupid thing ever.
Yeah.
I forget what Relaxed does.
Oh, so I think Slowpoke would be great for the memes. So.
Yeah, Slowpoke would be good. He'd probably just keel over and die quite a bit. Apparently Poliwag gets it as well.
Okay.
So
really?
Poliwag's move pool's probably kind of. Actually, to be fair, like its move pool isn't that much worse than Staryu's, considering Pikachu's already there.
Yeah.
You get Hydro Pump. You probably use Surf instead.
You get you get the complement of fighting moves once it becomes a Poliwrath.
Well, it's a little cup, so it's going to be standard Poliwag.
Oh, right, of course. Sorry. Sorry, I had a temporary brain blip there.
No, that's fine.
It's Friday.
Yeah, Poliwag, there's an option. Its stats are pretty bad across the board, but it's little cup, so they're going to be.
Yep. Well, apart from Abra.
Well, it's Abra's just frail, but it's very like Abra. I'm going to bring up Abra now whilst I'm thinking about it, just to give an idea of just how stupid this thing is. Yeah, Abra's base special attack is. Are we disconnected now? Abra's base special attack is 105. That's higher than Starmie.
That's slightly insane.
Really
Just a bit. And its base speed is 90, which is the same as Lucario. So, yeah, that's unevolved. So when you think about it, that thing's just going to wreck the whole game because it may as well just be a fully evolved form as it is.
It explains why Alakazam was so deadly, because obviously that got stat boosts over the top.
And consider as well, obviously the special stat wasn't split in Generation 1, so the special defense is also 105.
Yeah. It was a really, really kind of, it was a real force of nature back then.
Oh yeah.
I mean, even now, Mega Alakazam is not bad per se.
It's not bad. It's certainly not. I mean, it gets overshadowed by a lot of things.
It does. Yeah.
Mega Alakazam was created for one purpose and one alone: horde battles with Vanillite.
Yeah.
or just a bizarre spoon fetish.
So if Abra wasn't used to it, we'd be like, pretty much. Yeah, I think that's the best way to describe it. At least in Generation 1, obviously, you know, it's Abra's still very frail at the end of the day. Its defensive stats are terrible beyond belief, but as far as Little Cup's concerned, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And in Gen 1 even more so, because it just wasn't very well balanced.
If Abra wasn't useless, he would be legendary. Well, he's not useless.
No, in this he definitely isn't. He, as I say, when I first did the Little Cup run, Abra carried the run basically.
Yeah.
By the simple fact that he had all the benefits of a fully evolved Pokemon whilst being a base form.
It's sort of slightly, it's almost a little bit against the spirit of the rules, really, just because he doesn't have any of the disadvantages of a baby.
Well, that's the thing, though, is it's like the way when you do something like that is your power is going to be falling behind the opponents very quickly anyway.
Yeah.
So you do have to kind of not really throw the rulebook out, but you do kind of need to find certain ways of working around the limitation. And that's kind of what makes it more interesting, really, I think, is like seeing, oh, you can do this instead.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of when I tried to use like certain teams that had certain limitations on them. Like Team Stupid, for example, where I'm using a lot of stuff that normally would be considered fairly worthless. That in itself is a limitation, and it's like, how do you make this work? I think that's more interesting than seeing somebody just kind of plod their way through it and let the limitation just, you know, basically be a millstone around their neck the whole time.
Yeah. It's interesting you say that, because you kind of make me think, well, there's... Like, I've always sort of thought, like I was saying earlier, that's kind of what I want to see more out of Pokemon in general, is that challenge where you do have to kind of think outside the box a little bit. And I do wonder how much of me saying that is due to the fact that I am old and have a very long beard and have been playing the game for 20 years.
Possibly. I mean, I've been playing the game 20 years myself now. My first time I played Pokemon was back in 1999.
Yeah, it was 2000 for me, I think, so 18 years for me. But even so, you know, but we know the systems inside and out.
Oh yeah.
So I almost wonder if in some ways they're kind of complicated for newcomers, but I think you kind of exhaust the depth quite quickly if you've been playing them, especially as long as we have.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the reason why I kind of like, I don't, you know, the reason why I kind of wanted to do something like that is because, you know, it's like throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and trying to just like find new ways of solving certain problems that you encounter in the game, like saying, for example, oh, you can only use this, or, you know, you're limited to something that has a certain stat level, or you can only use a certain type. and then finding loopholes and ways to work around it. It's kind of like a new way of testing yourself in a way to try and see, can you work out this puzzle?
Yeah.
Solve it.
Flipping Galactic.
Yeah.
Like the whole, like, say for example, if you're doing like a mono-electric run of say, I don't know, one of the games, and it's like, well, okay, ground types, they're an issue. Okay, get Chinchu, done. Or get a levitator, done, or something like that. It's just kind of taking that, except, you know, a bit more specific in Abra's case.
Yeah, I suppose with the Mono Electric team, you just play one of the Gen 5 games, use Electros, which at that point...
I can use Electros because my Electros beat people 4 versus 1 and it works. So.
Electros is great.
Electros is brilliant.
I am quite disappointed that I didn't actually get a recording of that battle because it would have been amazing. I think to be fair, the guy took it in stride. I mean, I was going like for 100% heal at the time, but he took it in stride. But that just goes to show, like, anything that some certain other site admin can do, I can just do better.
Oh, hypnosis is so annoying.
Yeah, and it always works for the enemy and never works for you. It's like a death spell in an RPG.
Yep.
Yeah, if you're a CPU, Hypnosis has 100% accuracy.
Yeah, it's basically one of those things.
Whereas for us, it's Hypno Miss.
Pretty much.
Nice.
Well, we can keep growling all at once.
That does remind me of that one Smogon build for Moltres, which is literally called the Blind Bird because it just uses Fire Blast and Hurricane. I was like, you know what, fair play.
Yeah, that's a good name.
I'm not going to say what the full name was because it does contain a swear, which is usually screamed at it when it went at the worst possible time. They call it the effing Blind Bird there.
Ah, right.
In all caps.
In all caps, naturally.
So that's usually why you're going to be screaming at it when it screws you over.
Alright, we've got this cat out of the way.
Oh, you'll be pleased to hear this. The effing Blind Bird is on TV Tropes.
Really?
Yeah. Everything's on TV Tropes now. They're like the Borg. They're literally the Borg. They simulate everything.
Yep.
Sounds Swedish.
This is futile.
Oh, hey, it's a shell.
Although I do know that TV Tropes like Smogon, so.
Does appear to.
But they're not the kinds of people that Smogon want to be associating with.
I should probably use the fact there are shallows here to work on this Badoo, but...
Yes, you should. Because even though Shellos is great...
Yeah. It's a ground water type. It's still a water type at this point. It's not ground.
It's still water type, yeah. It doesn't get the ground type till it evolves, but still, it's still a water type. You can still beat it.
Hey, Weasel! I've actually been considering using one in this particular run, but I think I might just wait until I get Vaporeon instead, because it's Vaporeon.
If you do catch one of these Shellos, you have to nickname it Meat, because you'll be beating the meat with your aerial.
Oh,
the reason I've actually...
this stream's no longer PG anymore.
The reason I've actually named this thing Aerial is because something about Badoo's design just reminds me of a Tide Pod.
It basically is a Tide Pod, isn't it? When you think
basically.
It's the thing at the top. It's the thing at the top of its head.
Exactly. Except we don't have Tide Pods here, but we do have Aerial Pods, so...
I'd like to think we don't have people stupid enough to try eating them either.
Well, they are poisonous.
Yeah, Badoo is very toxic, as it happens.
Yep. Huh, surprisingly, this thing is actually managing to do some damage.
Yeah, it is.
I actually forgot this place is so full of water types that can be murdered indiscriminately.
Yeah, by Badoo of all things.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why it does have so many water types.
Because there's
there you are next to a lake.
Well, okay, apart from the massively.
That might be a good reason why there's plenty of water types here. And now you've said that, something horrible is just going to probably turn up and eat the budgie like a Starly or something.
Well, that's what I have the turtle for. Oh, snap! Oh, of course you're going to miss. You absolute pancake.
Oh wow, that's pretty tough shallows.
Yeah, just a bit.
I mean, to be fair, it's got a good special defense anyway. Now it's just weakening electricity moves because you have so many of those.
Oh, finally! Good grief.
Beast attacks.
You just want to sprinkle some paralysis dust on the thing. That's all.
They just want that. Honestly, you're probably better off just spamming absorb anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I probably should have. I just...
I mean, so he can't really damage you outside of, like, potentially confusing you.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, okay, Mud Slap can be a bit of a pain. Oh, so now he drops your accuracy after 2 misses?
Yeah.
I really see why you needed to.
Okay, that's it. I am
But you do a fantastic job of being terrible by itself.
Well, yeah, it is Badoo.
Yeah, you heal for more than he can damage you.
Yeah, basically.
You didn't even need to paralyze him.
I have no idea why I did that in retrospect. Ah well. I just do not have the energy for the confusion shenanigans. Sometimes you just have to put your foot down. Or a razor leaf to the face.
Yeah, you could catch that actually.
I could have, but I didn't.
You just killed it. Yeah.
Ah well.
Bye bye, meat. It was nice knowing you. You got beat.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. Oh, that was not what I was trying to do. Ah well, at least it's a free turn. I did not plan on using Stun Spore.
I have to say, Gastrodon it was kind of interesting situation with Gastrodon because it got very much overshadowed in this generation by Swampert, and then Storm Drain got changed.
Yeah.
And then Gastrodon ended up overshadowing Swampert. As it happens, being immune to both water and electric is quite convenient.
Yep. You know what?
So, yeah.
I'm probably not going to use it all that much because I do want a Vaporeon, but gone this far, might as well.
Honestly, I'd rather see Floatzel than Vaporeon. I've seen Vaporeon enough time.
I actually haven't used Floatzel in ages.
Yeah. Listen, let's let him have some fun.
Yeah, might as well, to be perfectly honest. Now what do I name this thing?
I don't know. We didn't get that far. We can't call him Meat because Meat just died earlier.
Yeah, pretty much.
Vegetable?
Mineral.
This entirety. Oh dear gods, I am not the very model of a modern Major General.
I mean, he's orange. You can call him Trump.
It's a she, so
he has a wife.
Melania?
Oh god. Let us not encourage the
No,
Dorita Mussolini.
Let's not encourage the internet, let's say.
Pop's a good one. Nice and simple.
Let's see. It's in order.
I'm still going for vegetable.
Vegeta. We call it Vegeta.
Yeah, that works.
Well, it's a female though, so...
Chi-Chi.
Bulma?
You know what? Videl. Why not?
Yeah,
yes,
that works.
Perfect.
I like that.
Actually, hilariously enough, I have a character who has a Floatzel that actually wears a Scouter. Well, it's a wide lens, but, it's mounted up to look like a Scouter.
Neat, we have a nickname.
Yep. Okay, now we just heal these particular idiots up, because I have to go chase a bunch of idiots into a field of flowers. Because Team Galactic are incompetent like that.
Well, they're trying to steal honey or something, aren't they?
They were something like that. I mean, basically I'm only there because their main idiot just kind of ran into the power plant and locked himself in what he probably thought was the smartest move ever. Not exactly what I would call the smartest move ever, if you ask me, but, you know, let me just actually add this little thing into the team.
I do find it funny how they're just like messing around, like stealing honey while their boss is like trying to go full Zamasu on the world.
To be honest, they have no idea what he's doing. That's kind of the hilarious part about Team Galactic. They have no idea what they're doing. You cannot grasp the magnitude of Team Galactic's plans. Even I don't. I think
they are incredibly stupid.
One of them actually says that, I think. It's... Team Galactic
Look, is... They can't grasp the true form of my plans.
Yeah. They're very enthusiastic.
They are.
They're very enthusiastic about something they have no idea what's going on. That's the hilarious thing.
They're basically a cult. That's the thing with Team Galactic.
See, that would have been really interesting, except it's Team... hang on.
There we go.
Except Gen 5 did it better.
Well, Gen 5 did a lot of things better, let's be honest.
Yeah, but it did the cult thing better as well.
It did.
Why are they arguing over honey? I forgot about this.
They just want to absorb it. They just want to... They would just...
It tastes nice.
They want to put it on toast, I don't know.
They just want to kind of draw as many Pokemon as they can because they're kind of trying to rely on Infinity Energy, except it wasn't called Infinity Energy yet.
Oh, right, yeah.
They're basically trying to get as much energy as they can so they can... Well, you'll see later. Anyway, another one of those.
See, I like to imagine these grunts as like being like they're completely ineffectual. Like, so this dude who's like here, like before, if you hadn't turned up, he would have just beaten the shit out of them with his bare hands, and there goes the swear jar. He would just beat them down with his bare hands by himself, and they wouldn't be able to do anything about it.
Yeah, I'm just kind of giving Videl some experience points at this particular junction in time. Since
yeah. Stunky's actually pretty cool. I like Stunky.
I like Stunky.
I find it hilarious because its face is a box. It says Dear Frieza, and it's a picture of a butt.
Cannot unsee.
I haven't been able to unsee that for about 10 years.
To be honest, it fits the theme, so I don't see any issue with it.
Yeah,
that's the whole point, though.
I mean, this is the generation with Palkia in it, and I shall say no more.
Yeah,
Pingus.
Man, there it is.
Yeah, it was said.
Oh dear.
No, it had to be, didn't it? Really? I mean.
Well, yeah.
Why water sport though?
I did not mean to do that. I was
gonna say.
I did not mean to do that.
Stunky is being completely ineffectual right now.
Yeah, well. I guess I'm just going to.
Now he's clawing you in the face.
Okay, that's it.
Wow, that's some damage.
OP nerf, please.
Yeah, Screech totally OP needs to ban.
You Smogon jokes.
And then Stunky gets killed by a giant tortoise.
Yep.
Sort of stepped on. They're gonna duck my pay. They don't pay me at all, you idiots!
To be fair, if you put a baby skunk in against like an alligator snapping turtle, I think it would be pretty obvious who'd win.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh dear. And I still have Ariel out as the first... whatever. Fine.
Free experience.
Yeah, free experience is a good thing, especially... Actually, that is a wise idea to be leveling these things up. Ah yes, Astonish, the most useful move in existence.
Yep.
I mean, it's not bad. It's not great either, but it's not bad. There are worse moves that exist in the game.
Oh, yeah.
There's not many of them, but they do exist.
Yeah, so that's a connection back to what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, might as well actually do the same thing with this particular Zubat.
Yeah, makes sense.
Just feeding experience to my Rosebud. It's not a sin.
I mean, it is Gen 4, you do kind of have to just cheese it for the experience.
Sometimes you do.
Yeah, much. It's a slug.
No, Meat was a slug.
Yeah, he was. God bless him.
Gone but not forgotten. Gone but not Gen 5.
Yeah.
Sounds like a bit of words, and I know a lot of words.
When does Grottle get bite? When does Grottle get bite?
I forget.
I shall look it up.
Excellent. Oh dear, they seem to have forgotten their key. I have no use for it. Why would I need a key to a power plant?
Free energy?
Uh,
It's 22 for bite.
Oh. I'm pretty
So
close to
Only
it
a
then.
couple to go.
Nice.
It's curse at 17.
Trying to
22.
rob me of my sweet, sweet tonic. Sure were weird though. You saw how they were dressed. Were they trying to do something with their hair? Oh
What a
yeah.
shame it's
They tried to steal it from me, but here, you can have it. It's not stealing, but I'm giving it to you. Yes.
It's kind of a shame. This thing's learn set is not brilliant.
I think it gets better moves as Torterra, to be honest.
It does.
It does, yeah. I can see it gets Earthquake.
Oh, yeah.
32 is Torterra. So that's much more useful. Sorry, I apologise if you can hear the drunks outside my window.
So quite alright. To be
Are they
perfectly fair, it makes a change from all the sirens.
Except they aren't.
Within the sound of silence.
If you put honey in the tree, it's quite often a rare Pokemon. That is a lie. It's never a rare Pokemon. It's something worthless every single time.
I mean, sometimes sometimes they do get a Heracross out of it, or
I was gonna say you were gonna get an objection there.
or Combi, but unfortunately, most of the Combi you run into are male.
This game is not going to give you a Heracross ever.
Combi is a Pokemon I love the idea of, but it's actually completely useless.
I actually, except the female ones that actually transform into a complete monster. I just wish that
it would be a complete monster if it wasn't bug flying, the greatest type combination in the game.
There is that, and there's also the fact that all of its moves seem to be geared around basically ordering other Combi around.
Yeah, actually,
which never happens.
One thing I've done in Miyato when I've designed a Mega Vespiquen was basically well, for one, I kicked its defenses up to the stratosphere, but for the most part, I actually gave it an ability that boosts allies. So it just kind of... So it basically, you basically just send it in like a doubles or a triples type setting, and watch it completely and utterly murder everything else with kindness.
As you do.
The best kind of murder.
I know, right?
I'd have to say, I'll think about it. Salazzle and Vespiquen are kind of the same.
They kind of are, yeah.
Yeah.
Except Salazzle is somehow more useful.
It's better, let's be honest.
Salazzle is amazing. I mean, I've actually managed to... Salazzle is one of my go-to Pokemon in Generation 7. She's just that good.
Salazzle is very good.
Yep.
And Corrosion. I love poisoning poison types out of spite. It's just... it's fun. Okay.
It's fun. The funny thing about Corrosion is it's one of those abilities that is great if it were on something else. Like, Salazzle just doesn't really need to poison things because it can just kill you.
Well, yeah, but you can actually use it to, things like, I forgot what I was going to say. You can actually use it against, you don't need to use it against poison types because you've got, against steel types, because you've got a fire attack!
Oh, you can use, well, you can poison Heatran, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
This is quite interesting. Sorry, changing the subjects a little bit. I've just noticed that Pokken is getting an update, which is kind of surprising. I thought that was kind of dead.
No, it's still at the championships and stuff. So
yeah, it's still at Worlds, which
it's
is
still at Worlds, even though they tried to like hide it. Like last time they had it at Worlds, they're trying to like hide it in a back room.
They did, didn't they? And they didn't even bother streaming the final, in the same manner they did the other two.
No, they didn't. They kind of just shoved it into the side. It's like, yeah, we're doing this, but we're kind of, we don't really want to, we don't want you to know we're doing it. We're kind of ashamed. That was the impression I got from that. And it's like, come on, what is wrong with you people? That tournament was the most interesting thing you had. Nothing else was worth watching. What the hell is wrong with you?
200.
I mean, what, are we going to have like Let's Go Pikachu tournaments now? Is that what's going to happen?
Well, probably not, because it doesn't have any of the competitive feetures. So that means we get
you can like, it's a competition. You got to try and catch as much stuff as you can within time.
That'd be quite fun, but
it would be fun. It'd also be completely terrible. But that's be.
Oh, well, yeah, completely terrible. I'd do it once for a laugh, though.
It'd be great for a laugh, but it would be a complete disgrace at the same time.
It's a charge and it's laser.
It's something I would do for a giggle in an evening on Twitch, but not as an actual competition.
Due respect.
We should have that as one of the streams. It's like a Pokemon Let's Go race where like you have time and you just got to catch as much as you can.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
Like first 20 Pokemon or something. That could be quite
20?
good.
Say 200.
20 seems too low, yeah.
200?
200, yeah.
Actually, that is assuming that anyone would actually be able to survive that absolute train wreck for 200 Pokemon.
Well, to be fair, it's not even come out yet. We can't say it's a train wreck yet.
Well,
you
know.
Yeah, it could be fun. Could be fun.
Yes, it could be fun.
We know this is the best Pokemon game ever made. We don't know.
I don't hate Pokemon Go's catching mechanic. Hey, it is.
Even though it is objectively terrible.
It is, yes. But there is some semblance of skill to it, I suppose.
I suppose it probably would be better if you didn't have to do it on a bad touchscreen on a phone.
Well, there is that. Being able to do it Waggle might even work better, which. But don't say that.
To be fair, like, I mean, after the Wii, I'm not. You know, catch that. Just catch it. Catch the squirrel.
Catch the squirrel.
Catch the squirrel. Yes.
That's not how that song goes.
Very melon.
Well, there are no pigeons in this game.
Yeah, there are.
Starly's not a pigeon; it's a starling.
True. Close enough.
Yeah, I mean,
all birds are bird.
It's
all birds are bird.
All birds are pigeons now.
Is this a pigeon?
Is this?
You are that guy.
Oh dear.
I mean, I know for a fact. I know for a fact I'm not going to use this thing because Pachirisu. But
well, you can catch it and call it John Cena because he's the champ. He won VGC.
Well, he won VGC, yes.
Well, call it Sagen.
Yeah.
Yeah, call it Sagen.
But it is the best Pokemon ever made.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's one on my desk at work.
I do like how much attention that got, like the fact that he used it. The thing is, though, is a lot of people don't get the fact that he didn't use it for a joke. He used it because it worked.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
It's just no one else thought of it.
Well, yeah, they didn't. He realised that in the situation that he was in, it was actually the best option he had, and it worked.
That was not what I planned to do. Oh. Bugger, that was not what I intended.
No!
And
don't kill the squirrel.
I didn't expect to.
Ugh. Oh dear. Oh well, never mind.
Ah well.
On a again an unrelated hot tip note, and by the way, shout outs to Dr. Oak for sharing all this stuff in somewhere I can see it.
Well, we now have a new champion, it's Ariel.
Yeah, yep. We were talking about Sonic earlier. And obviously we're saying it kind of worked better when it went back to its roots. Well, the sales figures seem to be backing that up. There's a big leak of player counts and stuff, like how many people own various games on Steam. And so obviously someone grabbed the list and put it online before they leaked it. But
yeah,
the number of copies of Sonic Forces they sold on PC is 34,165.
Yeah.
The number of copies of Sonic Mania they sold 168,633.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's like it's more than 5 times as much.
Yeah. I mean it's again it just shows what people want out of Sonic. They want the old school. They want Sonic to stick with what they know works, basically.
Yeah, I think it's one of the franchises that never really quite survived the move into 3D. I think
there's quite a few of them that didn't. Like, to be fair though, so another one I know that didn't really do too well in 3D was Mega Man. But they kind of got the point a lot quicker and realised, let's just not do 3D anymore, and it worked.
Yeah,
pretty much.
And it died anyway.
I think there weren't that many franchises that really made the jump in a way that really worked.
No, there isn't. I mean, I suppose Final Fantasy did, but I don't know if that even counts because it's a JRPG.
Final Fantasy did. I mean, I think it does count, even if it was just presentation rather than gameplay. But it was, you know, it was still a 2D franchise that made it to the 3D intact.
It did. Zelda, I think, did a pretty good job. I mean,
Zelda,
Ocarina of Time. Metroid eventually did it with Metroid Prime.
Yeah, I mean, well, it was the first time it tried, wasn't it?
Yeah, Metroid Prime was the first 3D attempt at a Metroid game, and
well, it was also the first Metroid game full stop since Super, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Fusion.
That was like 8 years.
Actually, they were released at the same time, just about. So
yeah, they're around the same time, but it was still an 8-year gap.
I thought they were day and date. I could be wrong.
So Super Metroid's in '94. I think Prime was 2002. And so
yeah, it was 94 here. Fusion was here. It was November 22nd. Sorry, I'm actually curious now to see how often they were. Oh, okay. It was November. It was actually way apart from the EU. It was November 17th for Prime and 18th for Fusion, so the day after in America. For us, this was back in 2002, so we hadn't quite worked out global releases yet. The EU got Metroid Fusion on November 22nd, 2002.
Yeah.
So 22/11/02. It's a pretty nice day. We didn't get Metroid Prime until March 2003. It's pretty ridiculous, really.
To be fair, the PAL version did have quite
typical for us, really.
I mean, to be fair, the PAL version did have quite a few changes in it, so I can kind of understand that.
Yeah. Both were released in America, actually, well before Japan, interestingly enough. Japan got Fusion February 14th, 2003. They got Prime February 28th, 2003. So, yeah, so they were released around the same time, depending on where you lived.
I know the NTSC version of Metro Prime 1 at least had some ridiculous glitches in it that just let you skip gigantic parts of the game.
It did, yeah. They fixed most of them for the PAL version, which was quite interesting.
They fixed a few. There's still quite a lot of them left in there, though.
Yeah. It was still relatively broken, especially if you're a speedrunner.
Yeah, I mean, all the speedrunners tend to stick with the NTSC version anyway.
Because it's totally broken, yeah.
Yeah, it was the same with the when I've been watching bits of SGDQ today.
Yeah.
And, for the Cuphead run, they used the legacy version and not the most recent version.
There we go. There's the dude. You don't have to bring up what you do. I think it's trying to achieve. Of course, they don't tell a grunt like me anything either, but still.
Oh
dear. Let's just heal the Dell here.
He must be Papyrus, I'm not gonna lie.
I am kind of conflicted as to whether I want to watch the Cuphead speedrun, because I haven't played the game yet.
I didn't really want to watch it either. What I will say though is, from what I have seen of it, it doesn't really give you much of an idea of how to beat the bosses because he skips entire phases. So
okay, fair enough.
Yeah, you can kind of safely watch it without it kind of spoiling how to beat everybody.
Okay, that's fine then.
Snap in.
Because he uses this weapon switching glitch that allows you to basically just melt the bosses down before they can properly do their phase changes.
Oh, nice.
You don't really get to see much of them for the most part.
Yeah, fair enough.
So yeah, as I say, it is safe to watch it and not have much spoiled for you unless you plan on, So yeah, I'd say it's still worth watching. And to be fair, I've already had the King Dice fight spoiled for me anyway, so.
Yeah, I haven't yet, but probably soon. And to be fair, it is Cuphead. I don't know if I'd ever get good enough to get there.
To be honest, I think Cuphead's one of those games where...
Commanders. We completely forgot this is Platinum. Sorry.
Nice hair. It's one of those games that even if you do kind of watch somebody playing it, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be able to recreate what they do.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, yet another game I need to pick up and actually play.
Yeah, same. I have a lot of games that are in that list. I've got that, Dragon Ball Fighters.
Dragon Ball Fighters is the ultimate game that lets you buy the the rule of cool I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Like Dragon Ball Fighters is that game.
Pretty much.
Yep.
You can play Zamasu now, so.
Yeah. Well, I was watching the I can't remember what it was, a big tournament for it at some point. I just kind of tuned in on Twitch, and it was the level of play at a high level is
really good.
It's really good, but it looks incredible to watch.
It is, yeah. It's fantastic.
that's one of those things with, say...
Kicking guitar.
I think with, say, Street Fighter, you know, there's some really impressive stuff going on, but it's not that fun to watch, if you know what I mean.
Street Fighter's never been particularly flashy.
Yeah, I mean, you have the kind of not the, whatever they're called, V skill, whatever they are, things, which are pretty nifty, but it's kind of very technical rather than being flashy. Whereas fighters, you know, you can always tell what's going on because someone is getting punted around the stage.
Yeah, prior to fighters, I'd say Mortal Kombat would have been the flashier of the fighting games.
Yeah?
Ooh, I don't know, Smash.
Because of the gore.
Yeah, Smash is... Yeah, I think they're flashy for different reasons. Smash is definitely a big one because it's got such an emphasis on zoning and movement.
I'd say, I suppose it's kind of cheap to say it's Marvel vs. Capcom as well.
Yeah, fair enough.
With the gigantic infinite combos and all that stuff.
Basically, it was just totally broken, but it was fun to watch because of it.
It was. I don't think anyone would have more Marvel vs. Capcom any other way though. Like if you took away the infinites and stuff like that, you're kind of taking away what made MVC popular in the first place. So.
Oh yeah, people were in it for the ham.
Yeah. So you see them ridiculous combos. It's like that's what people sign up for, and you know.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the reason. I mean, I've not played MVCI, but maybe that's the reason why people don't like it.
I think it's one of those things. I mean, that is one of the reasons why Pokemon will never do quite so well as a spectator sport because it is turn-based. So there's a lot of strategy in it, but it's only really kind of really exciting when you've got a Pachirisu up there, you know, and you could go, okay, tiny mouse against a load of Ubers, you know.
It's just tanking it, yeah.
Sorry, squirrel.
They're all rodents.
Miss.
Small child.
I'm sure somebody's going to make a comment saying, "Oh, one of the clones is not actually a rodent. Something else."
Well, I have no idea what Plusle and Minor are supposed to be, so.
Disgraces.
Yes.
Mathematical markings.
Yeah. I don't think they're really animals per se. I think they're DeviantArt recolors.
They're animal mascots. That's what they are.
Yeah. So hang on. Well, Gen 2 just had Pichu, didn't it?
Yeah.
Gen 2 had Pichu, yeah. Gen 3 had Plusle Minor.
Gen 4 was
Pachirisu.
Gen 5
Emolga.
Dedenne and
Togedemaru.
Yeah, Togedemaru. I almost call it Dende.
Close enough.
No, Dende. Nail.
Shut up, Little Green.
Oh dear.
You know that series is getting on 10 years old.
Yeah,
hasn't it been like a year since they last released an episode?
Something like that, yeah. I know they are working on one. They've actually said it is coming out some point soon.
Yeah, that's what they said about Duke Nukem Forever.
True, but Team 4-Star actually released things.
True, they do. Well, they did.
Well, they did.
Yeah, we got Duke Nukem 3D. There was no problem with that.
I think there was some sort of, I don't know what it was. It's like a mixture of logistical and legal problems.
They're probably running on Valve time or something.
Well, they are. They're also running on trying to be a legitimate business, which...
True.
You know.
It's a bit difficult when you're doing the silly fandom.
The ironic thing about that is that Valve time happened because they became a legitimate business.
Yes. I mean, to be fair, Valve time has been the case since the beginning, because even the original Half-Life was pretty heavily delayed.
That's 6 years, wasn't it?
Something like that.
I think it was 6 years for Half-Life 2.
Half-Life 2 it was, yeah. I know the original Half-Life was originally...
Well, with a Half-Life of 6 years, that would be reasonably stable.
Science puns!
Yeah.
Sorry, it's a Friday night. My brain's switched off.
It's all quite alright. Anyway, I think that I'm going to actually make it to Eternity and then stop.
That's
true.
For
now, I'm still here.
I remember playing the Half-Life demo, which was completely original. It's quite interesting. Not many things did that. The other one was Jedi Knight 2 that I remember, where they built a level specifically for the demo and never actually, never actually put it in the real game.
So they basically did what Hollywood does for trailers these days.
I mean, to be fair, that's better than...
The original
I
Jedi.
mean,
Jedi Knight 1, Dark Forces 2 was the game I didn't
I
like.
can name another game that, but it doesn't
I didn't like Dark
count.
Forces 1.
Which game is that?
It's oh no, I forgot the name of it.
I can tell you, I can give you one, and this doesn't count either for reasons I'll explain. But Peggle, because Peggle's demo was a game called Peggle Extreme, which was a crossover with Half-Life 2.
Wait,
Bizarre.
what?
Yeah, it was a free game. You got it by buying the orange box for a while. I think they got rid of it, long since gotten rid of it now. But it was basically Peggle, but like what was it, Bjorn, the unicorn, was being eaten by headcrab, and it's all this sort of thing. And
I like that.
yeah, so it had like a few Half-Life levels and a few Portal levels, I think, with Portals, of course. It was really good, and it was completely free. So it was basically a demo for Peggle, good, kind of normal and very very interesting.
It's the Stanley Parable I was thinking of, by the way.
Okay.
I love that
I'm
thing.
not
It's
trying to
great.
think if there was ever actually a game that spent longer in development than Duke Nukem Forever.
Oh yeah.
And
Kingdom
those
Hearts
Snattlers
3.
fight.
Hey!
Hang on. How long has Kingdom Hearts 3 actually been in development for now?
A long time. It's been on the table for a while. I don't know if it's been quite 12 years. I know that mention of it. The thing is with Kingdom Hearts 3 is it got mentioned a lot, but then it actually turned out that every single mention of it prior to now was actually a different Kingdom Hearts game each time.
Yeah.
So they're like, hey, look at this trailer for Kingdom Hearts 3. No, it's Birth by Sleep. So I don't even know if that counts.
Well, the game was first. I mean, it depends. It depends if you count like time between announcement and release, or time between like starting development and release. Because Kingdom Hearts 3.
I mean, to be fair, it's kind of. I'd say technically you'd have to say between announcement because you can't actually tell when these games start development really.
That's true. Yes, I mean Kingdom Hearts 3 definitely is discounted for that because although we've known it's been in development for years, it was only announced in 2013.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 5 years ago, but relatively speaking.
For some reason, the hiker theme in this game just reminds me of the Swedish Chef.
Kitchens of Doom, best game ever.
Yes.
What's that, sorry?
Have I not shown you Kitchens of Doom?
I don't think you have.
No,
well,
I've
that's
not
I'm gonna have to fix that after this.
Is it a Doom mod? It is a Doom
No,
mod.
it's not a Doom mod. The funny thing is it's not a Doom mod.
Is it not?
It was part of a game pack. It was like it's called, I don't know, I can't remember what the actual name of the game was. It was a Muppets game with several mini games on them, and one of them was basically a Doom mod. I'll show you afterwards. But Stel knows what I mean.
Yep.
He's seen Kitchens of Doom.
It is basically 9 Kinds of Glorious. Meanwhile, Fidel is gaining levels like crazy.
Yay.
That's good.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going to have a look into this game later.
I'm going to post it in the. I'm going to post it on the channels for you.
Yeah, I've had a quick Google and I want to see more.
Yeah, I'll post it now. Here we go. Which channel should I stick it in? I'll stick it in Bug Charms Live since I've mentioned it on the stream.
Yeah.
Anybody else who can watch it? Bada boom. There you go. Kitchens of Doom.
I'll send it to Twitch chat as well because there are people there.
Yeah, probably.
Hi, people.
I didn't know they you know, I mean, you know, this. Keep in mind, I played this game as a child. Like, it's, the funny thing is, the ironic thing is, actually, now I think about it, is I actually played Kitchens of Doom before I played the actual Doom.
Nice. I played. I can one up you there. I played. I don't know if you ever heard of this Nerf Arena Blast.
It sounds vaguely familiar. I might have heard the name before.
It was basically a total conversion of Unreal Tournament, with a sort of vague single player element. But I played that long before I ever played Unreal.
Yeah,
Unreal Tournament. It was actually quite good. I'm kind of considering playing it. Like,
oh, that's reminding me. It is the funniest one. Me and Bal, who I'm sure you all know.
Yes, I'm still scarred.
Yeah, I'll be sure to let him know. As a child, one of the games I played was Wolfenstein 3D.
Okay, yep.
I mentioned Wolfenstein 3D to him, and we were watching this one episode of the Angry Video Game Nerd, and one of the games that came up was Super Noah's Ark 3D, which turned out he played that as a child.
Wow.
That's amazing.
That game came up on the Nerd video, and Val was like, "I've played this," and I was like, "You what?" He's like, "I swear I've played this game." He says, "I'm like." So basically, we've both played Wolfenstein 3D as kids, except you played it with a Bible skin.
Pretty much.
Which I guess is appropriate because he's a Christian, I'm not, so it kind of works.
Yeah, it works.
I mean, I can't fault it. At the end of the day, Wolfenstein 3D is a good game, so by extension, I guess Super Noah's Ark is as well.
I guess. I don't know if that quite works, but fair enough.
Well, it's literally the same game, except instead of Nazis, they're animals.
You shoot the animals?
Well, yeah, you shoot food at them from your slingshot.
Oh, okay, fair enough. It's like, hang on, I don't remember reading that in the Bible.
Yeah, apparently that's what happened. When Noah got on the ark to take the animals, they attacked him.
And Noah took his super shotgun. Sorry, not Noah.
Well, yeah, he did. He had to shoot food at the animals to stop them from attacking him. But the thing is like he was supposed to take 2 of every single animal onto the ark. That was what he was meant to do, but apparently he made a mistake and just put like a bunch of goats on there and nothing else.
Well, you know.
Dear.
So he messed up. He messed up when all the goats started attacking him because he messed up. That's what actually happened.
Okay. I'll take your word for it. I wasn't there.
I accept this headcanon.
Well, these people made the game. These people who know about the Bible made this game, so I'm not going to dispute what they said. They obviously know more about it than I do.
Oh my god, I found this Nerf Arena Blast game. I can download it and everything. I have to give it that go.
Well, you probably get more mileage out of it than the current Unreal Tournament, which is in development hell thanks to something else.
Oh, I don't know what that could be.
Yeah, no, it's not like it's all over Twitch or anything.
What else could Epic be working on? I've not seen them do anything for years.
Well, I don't know about years, but certainly a fortnight.
Oh dear. Shame on you, sir.
Welcome to PokerChart.
I will say though, like as much as I'm not a big fan of Fortnite for putting one of my favourite games in development hell, all the parents who are complaining their kids are addicted to Fortnite can just go to hell.
Well, I think they could probably take better care of the children.
Yeah, it's called pull the plug out the back of the console.
Or preferably pull the plug out of the back of the child.
You've got a plug, you've got a hand, use them.
Well, the problem is that because Fortnite is on literally everything, you take away their console and they'll play it on the PC. You take away the PC and they'll play it on their phone.
Unplug the router, there, done.
Yeah, you take away their phone, they'll play it on the fridge. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
just unplug the children. Save yourself the trouble.
And then they're all like, oh, but then the kid starts getting angry and throwing stuff. Then beat his ass. I don't care.
Yeah. I can't.
Is flying sideways today. Well, yeah.
I mean, I don't condone violence against children. I just find it funny.
Hilarious.
Exactly.
But I mean, there is obviously this kind of you've got to have. I'd like to say a balance, but I think in this particular case, a lot of it's literally just you know. You've got to raise
running away from me. I'm trying to fight you.
It's terrified of
Seriously,
you.
I have to chase it. I can't believe I actually have to chase a terrified child to
He knows who you are. That's why
he's running away from you because you're about to.
Use the arm blade.
He's about to be banned. That's why he's running away.
Yeah, you're about to beat up his monkey and take his money.
Well, I just had to give the monkey a bath first.
Oh god, and that name as well. No wonder he's running away from you. Well, it's just come full circle.
Oh, yep.
Well, yeah, I had to chase it down a few of those.
Well, when you beat him, he's gonna go back to like TV tropes or something and tell everybody how great he is.
It's probably going to make a YouTube video about how I banned it first.
Oh yeah, and then he's gonna...
They do that for some reason.
Yeah, we
a message to...
Oh dear.
We do end up... Yeah, that happens.
I just noticed his name.
We do end up on YouTube a lot. It tends to be half trainer cards and half. Wash, they'll ban me.
Yeah.
See, I've already said this before, but I do need to repeat this for all the people that are watching right now. I like when you ban people, Stel, you become famous. When I ban people, they become famous. God damn it, Peyton.
Yeah, what the hell happened there? It's like,
oh no! You should have vanished off the face of the earth.
And what did you do?
What did I do? I banned him and then left an arsey message on his profile because he was a dick.
And then he went and became internet famous.
And then he became a goddamn celebrity. What the hell? Everybody knows who he is. He's on YouTube. He's on DeviantArt. He's on everywhere.
Yeah, he's been banned from DeviantArt. I mean, seriously, how
you get banned from DeviantArt?
I know.
So it's like I went to school with Ed Sheeran, but you banned Peyton the Realu before he was famous.
Yeah. I was doing that stuff before it was cool. That's the thing. I set friends. Everyone else just follows.
Hipster.
If I ever see that guy again, I'm just be like, dude, I made you famous. You should be down on your knees and thank me.
Oh dear, I forgot just how many people hang out on this route. I mean,
yeah, Diamond kind of had a thing for that. It had really kind of long and twisty routes and lots and lots of trainers on them.
And they didn't have a decency to have a healing house in there like Generation 5 did.
Yeah, that honestly is so useful.
Although to be perfectly honest, where I'm going next, as far as I know at least, does have a thing that heals you every battle. So
that's good.
Yeah.
A Chop gets no guard in this generation.
Oh yeah.
So Machamp is like an absolute beast in Generation 4.
Why did they change it?
Change no guard?
Yeah.
It never had it. It only ever had guts before. They just gave it a new ability.
Oh, I see.
Guts. So they're just like, yeah, you're gonna have this one too. You just never miss. And it's like, okay.
Well, you never miss, but nothing ever misses you.
True, there is a downside, but to be fair, it doesn't really matter when you're just dynamic punching everything in the face for free.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, it's not really a downside.
Yeah, it's the pros outweigh the cons by a very significant margin.
Yep. So many random summable time. Picnica Karina. It's not Karina! Alexa, stop being a cow! What am I doing?
It's not Karina anyway, she hasn't got a real Lucario.
And she's not rollerblading around or just being generally useless. I mean, she's got Piplups, that's not much better, but you know.
Well, you know. I do like this, because Diamond was they changed it, I think temporarily, where the Pokedex completion stuff, let me start again. Gen 4 was the generation where the Dex completion still mattered, because they gated off items and stuff through it, but they gated it based on Pokemon seen. Yeah. So they set it up so you'd see all of the Pokemon of the Sinnoh Pokedex if you've battled every trainer.
Yeah.
Which is quite fun. Which I was going to say they changed it back, but they didn't. They just completely scrapped that mechanic for later games. Which is fair.
Yeah, it was kind of weird.
It was, yeah. I think the Pokemon, originally, this is like across the whole franchise, not just this particular mechanic of this particular game. But it was very focused on, gotta catch them all. And, can you catch all of 151? And it's like, okay, fair enough. 150 Pokemon, doable with a bit of time.
I mean, it makes sense, because right at the beginning of the game, you're given this machine that catalogues all the Pokemon, and you're told, catalogue all the Pokemon.
Yeah, well, you still are now, but because there's 800 and some of the critters, then there's not really much point.
See, I do kind of like the idea that they're like on this mission to capture the Pokemon so they can record them, and it just gets completely undermined by Bulbapedia.
Yep. Yeah, see that's why. Because after a while, everyone realized that we have the internet now. We don't need to send 10-year-olds out to write dubious descriptions.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, fun fact.
This Pokemon is 10 feet tall!
And covered with chainsaws. Actually, hilarious thing. Back when Generation 2 was brand new and actually started with the whole Miato thing, the whole point of the local Pokédex was that it was sort of a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy type thing. Now, this was before the age of Wikipedia. But yeah, basically the whole point was that the Pokédex clone for that particular setting would basically get automatically updated, so it'd be more like the animes, sort of... Oh, here, you can sort of make a note of what species you've seen and or caught, but, you know, you don't specifically need to catch them to get all the information. That's what the internet is for. So...
Well, I mean, to be honest, Wikipedia really is just
my favorite forest.
Just boring.
Hi, Cheryl.
Cheryl.
We're entering Eterna Forest.
Yep.
I got a funny story to tell about about my time in this forest.
Oh yeah.
Basically, I had a Machop. I was trained on Machop, and I met this woman who teamed up with me with her Chansey. I wasn't paying much attention to what I was doing, and I might have accidentally used low kick on her Chansey and dropped it into
Oh dear.
And this was before I realised that Chansey had like no physical defense whatsoever. So I was like, wait a minute. So I kind of looked back at the screen as I realised what I had done and saw Machop use low kick on the Chansey, and I was thinking, well, that might do a bit of damage, and they just died instantly. I was like, oh, okay. Now it's 2 versus 1, and I'm the one. Oh, terrible, bad things are going to happen to me. She did get her revenge later on, I will say that.
Oh?
Basically, she trapped me in a battle in the battle tower where she was my partner. And she had a Cresselia with double team.
Oh, man.
At some point, probably through my own fault, I ended up losing both my Pokemon, which left her behind to fight off the opponent. And her Cresselia ended up doing nothing but dodging everything until it struggled itself to death. And I had to sit through the whole thing.
Wow!
Luckily, she did eventually win because the other Pokemon she had was capable of just destroying the opponent in 2 hits. And I was just thinking to myself, why didn't you just switch and send that out and win?
Because the AI is not exactly brilliant.
That was revenge for what I did to her Chansey, basically.
Pretty much.
They put Videl to sleep.
So, yeah, me and her, I've pretty much hated her ever since.
I actually really like her, but I don't really
we're not friends. We're done. We're done. Like, after that, I was just like, you know what? I hate you.
She's done you wrong.
Yeah, it's like, come on. I made a mistake, right? And your Chansey healed itself after the end of the fight anyway. Why are you putting me through this? Like, this is disproportionate revenge right now, is what you're doing.
Petty bullying.
Yeah, so now I've got like this idea, like she comes off as like absolutely sweet, but like if you annoy her, she just holds a grudge against you for ages and just ruins your day afterwards. That to me is like her characterization.
I quite like that. That's a good headcanon.
Mm-hmm. I do like headcanons because it is interesting.
What Generations did with her for sure.
I do like headcanons though because I kind of like it. It's funny like how certain characters come off, like whether it's intentional or not, or whether it's just based off your personal experiences with them. It is interesting to me how like certain, like Skylar being an absolutely horrible person, for example. I don't think they intended for her to be an absolutely horrible person, but she still comes off like that. So it's kind of fun to imagine that yes, she just is a horrible person.
Yeah, it certainly makes the Pokemon games a little bit more interesting.
Yeah. Or I don't know. I like to, in my head, I kind of like to. I did actually have a headcanon for Whitney. Where this, I don't know how accurate people find this, but I imagine Whitney as being like, she's, because obviously everyone remembers the Miltank.
Yeah.
And most people probably hate the Miltank. So I get this. So my headcanon for Whitney is that everybody just moans about her online and like sends her like really hateful tweets and stuff like that on social media because her Miltank just ran him over. So they're all like, "Oh, she's a fake. She just does it because it's a fad and all that stuff like that." And at her core, she's really, really bitter about this. So it kind of fuels her rage that she just crushes everybody with her milk tank because she's so pissed off at everybody hating her for no reason.
Pleasure.
I'll put half.
Yeah.
Huh. So yeah, my headcanon Whitney is that she's just really, really bitter over everybody hating her unreasonably for being sore losers.
Yeah, I like that. That's fair. We're living up to the site's name here. We're being creative.
Yeah.
Or the site's mission, rather.
Oh dear.
We haven't started eating Lucky Charms yet.
We're living up to our family name and facing full life consequences.
Dishonor on your cow?
Something. That too. Oh dear.
Also, we've got well, I wouldn't even call it a headcanon, it is canon as far as I'm concerned. Byron's obsession with holes.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's totally canon.
And being the best gym leader of all time.
Yeah. Byron is... If Byron wasn't anime Byron, I would be very surprised.
I don't understand why they didn't put anime Byron in this game.
They really should have done.
And still,
maybe
I love this hole!
Maybe they'll do it for the remake.
When you fight him, he just yells, I love holes, and then that's the start of the fight.
And I love defense!
He loves defense. He shouts that and then uses armed defense to increase his defense.
There's a bit in one of the episodes where he's like, I run defense! And I just have this clear mental image of him literally trying to iron a fence. And Gord's like, Dad, what are you doing? And he's like, I run defense! I have to draw this. I have to draw this. I am going to draw this when we reach that point in the stream.
This sounds good.
Yeah. I didn't mention anything with Roark as well. The reason why Roark's so bitter about him is because he blew up the Christmas tree.
If we ever get far enough and I have the right people to do it, it would be really fun to set up like an Oikaki, but on the stream.
Oh man, that would have been great.
So
do you want to explain that to the people who have no idea what that is?
So for those of you born after 2000, what I'm referring to is it's basically a shared canvas that you can draw on in real time.
Okay, so that's why I don't know what it is, because I never drew anything.
Yes, it's an art thing.
Yeah, so, I'm not an artist in any way, shape or form, but...
So Oikaki were originally, they were little doodle things, so you basically, on a website, you could do a quick doodle and then post it. And the idea is it was like really, really quick and simple, so you could kind of mess around. A bit like MSN had a drawing feature for years. Now I'm really dating myself.
Oh, wow. Exactly. Well, to be fair, we've already revealed we've been playing these games for 20 years, so I mean, it's not like our age is a secret.
Well, that's true. We are all old.
We are ancient. I was old when your stars were young.
Well, I mean, I'm literally 30 in 3 weeks, so that's like...
Oh, ancient.
Pretty much, yeah, we're there now.
I am the relatively youthful age of 25, so... In fact, out of the four of us, I am the youngest.
See, I actually, we actually have a work newsletter. I'm glad nobody at work is watching this stream right now because it's going to be slightly awkward. Basically, we have a work newsletter, and one of the pages reveals everybody's birthdays.
Okay.
I wasn't sure whether to be offended or very relieved that they forgot to put mine in. I was offended because it's like, damn it, you forgot my birthday. And to be honest, lots of people forget when my birthday is. But at the same time, it's a 30 milestone that I'm kind of not particularly thrilled about. And I know full well that if it did get broadcasted, I'm going to be coming to work with a big 3-0 balloon behind my desk. And I'm just like, I'm going to be hating my life right now.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh, happy birthday, Alex. Happy birthday. I'm just like, oh, just go away.
Who's Alex?
Not me. I'm Cole. But apparently they call me Alex at work. I don't know why.
Weird.
Some nonsense about birth certificates, I bet.
Yeah, somebody got confused and some shit happened. Their swear jar again. I'm really bad tonight. I'm kind of making up for all the nights where I didn't swear once.
Yeah.
It's Friday.
I'm pretty sure we all kind of tripped at some point.
Yeah.
I have found out you are apparently supposed to. Basically, if you're going to swear a lot, you apparently have to put mature content on your like the mature content label on your Twitch channel. So,
well, to be fair, I'm hoping that people have kind of the game music or whatever other people talking is kind of drowning me out.
Not as much.
I did. to the person who wrote, I did actually send a rather quippy email to the person who wrote the newsletter telling them about the fact that they'd omitted my birthday, but I did make a point of saying, in hindsight, it's probably a good thing that you did this because you may very well have saved me from a very embarrassing time.
Fair.
So I'm just gonna thank you. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah. Speaking of awful things, this is a hell of a tangent. Are we still wanting to do that awful games marathon that we were talking about?
Yes, I would really like to do. I mean, to be fair, I don't know how many awful games you really need. I mean, Metro Other M lasts ages anyway.
That's true.
And Daikatana lasts ages anyway. But as I say, I did want to. I was planning to do the Daikatana stream for charity at some point because
that sounds fun.
So I figured why not just throw other awful games into the mix as well. So it'd be nice to see if we can do it.
Yeah, we could do like a weekly thing for a while, I suppose.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, to be fair, I wouldn't be able to stream Other M from my house. Not that I'd ever want anyway.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
And I've already said I would not be able to play Metro Other M without swearing.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I mean. If we do a charity stream for awful games, we will have to have a swear jar. Where, when, not if, when,
yeah,
we swear. We put some money in the jar and it goes to charity.
Yeah. I would like to at some point, but as I say, there is no way me playing any. If it's Other M, it's not going to be PG with me. I'm going to be absolutely like 10 minutes in.
And it's only what it deserves.
It really does. I mean, it's so bad. So bad. I was actually kind of pondering what the how this is gonna go with me doing this, and I was just thinking to myself when it takes 20 minutes for there to be any gameplay.
Yeah.
One thing because of the initial cutscene,
really?
And then in the most ridiculous move ever, they have you leave the ship, so you're actually controlling Samus now. You go around the corner, and it's another cutscene that lasts 10 minutes.
Actually, although I have to be said, I'm not going to complain about the initial cutscene because it is literally the best part of the game. The longer it keeps you from playing the game, the better for all involved.
I mean, the gameplay at least is tolerable. I'm not going to say that it's good because it isn't. The
gameplay was in desperate need of a sequel and a different.
It was in desperate need of not having Metroid Prime come out before it. That's what it did.
Yeah,
it was in desperate need of not existing.
It really
there
did.
Is that, yeah. But the whole idea of making it a sort of Team Ninja-y sort of almost beat 'em up-y type thing kind of worked.
It could have worked if Sakamoto wasn't an absolutely controlling moron.
If Sakamoto wasn't involved and they'd given it to Platinum.
Yeah, they could have made that work really well.
That could have worked quite well.
But again, the story just completely muted any possible potential it could have had.
Really much.
What was something else I was thinking about as well about it, which I've completely forgotten about. But forgetting about Other M is a good thing. You don't want to remember it.
Well, I just kind of defeated a guy named Elijah in the woods.
Well,
I just killed a hobbit.
I was actually saying Abra was amazing, and you've just kind of ruined that. You just beat two of them. Although, to be fair, neither of these people are as good as me, so they can go away.
Naturally.
No one is as good as you.
Oh, of course not.
Yes.
Yeah,
much as I love Eterna Forest, the random trainers in this particular place are kind of irritating as Frel.
Yeah.
To be fair, at least she heals you after every fight.
Well, yeah, exactly. But yeah, basically, I know we're kind of running kind of late, and I just want to make it to Eterna City, and then I'm going to stop for tonight.
Well, at least we've got an end point. We know where we're going.
Yeah, that's fair.
How is her egg bomb doing that much damage when Chansey's a complete
no
win?
Idea.
Because she's twice the level, I assume.
Well, yeah, but still, it's base 5 attack.
True. Is it base 5?
It's either 5 or 10. It's something completely worthless.
Black magic.
I thought egg bomb was. No, egg bomb's at 100.
I mean Chansey's attack.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, Chansey's base attack is 5.
Yeah,
wow.
Basically.
So the maximum possible attack stat that Chansey can have at level 100 is 119.
Which is not many.
No, especially considering its special defense can go up to 339.
That's quite a lot.
You see, I'm just getting the clear mental image of her sort of picking up a Chansey and just smashing it against her opponents.
Well, give it an Eviolite, and that's exactly what you can do.
Or maybe she just kind of strangles them with her braid. Either way, she is a force to be reckoned with. I like Cheryl. I mean, honestly, if I wasn't so completely and utterly obsessed with Gardenia, there is an alternate universe in which Cheryl would have been my favorite particular character from that particular series.
See, if I was feeling especially vindictive towards you, I would like make a ROM hack of this game where Gardenia has a team of 6 Electivire.
Now that's just cruel.
What would you think, though? Where would you sit with that? If you had to face that reality. He's gone silent. That's not a good thing.
No. I think he killed him.
I think he's gone off to ban you.
He probably has. He probably has.
He's fetching the boot.
Well, to be fair, I can't say I wouldn't have deserved it.
You are all infected.
Yes, and to Cole we leave a boot to the head.
And one for Jenny and the whip.
You know what? You know what? I don't care if I deserve it. Then I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. Yeah. I have. If I end up dying early and I end up being buried, I am not sure what I want on my tombstone, but they deserved it. It's probably a contender.
Yeah.
Especially if I die of old age. But
You forgot to fetch a item.
Where?
You were heading to get an item and then you turned around after the fight.
Yeah, it's over there.
I think doesn't Volkner use Electivire at one point?
He does. In this one, he does. Which makes it so much more fun to completely and utterly eviscerate his posterior.
To be fair, I know you're not.
I mean, I didn't really need much of a reason to want to completely and utterly destroy him, but this makes it a lot more fun.
Yeah, true. I mean, I was going to say, like, I know you're not hugely into competitive, even though you are very competent. You would have quite liked the Pikachu Cup, just the fact that you got to zap Electivires, basically.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I would have probably had the reason to use a whole lot of Galvantula.
Yeah, I used Galvantula.
I love that thing. I
used Galvantula, used Ampharos, Mega Ampharos, so was Raichu. And every time an Electivire turned up, it would just be fake out, slap Dragon Pulse dead.
Yes!
It's like, get out. It's just like, everything's electric, so it's like, oh, let's just stick Choice Band Earthquake on it. Nope.
Oh dear, it's the Here Comes the Swarm dude, isn't it?
I don't know. Yeah.
One of these kids was the Here Comes the Swarm dude.
That reminds me of that Robot Wars team that made the Swarm. It was like 4 little robots, which were completely useless.
I was going to say, wasn't that terrible?
It was. The funniest thing about that is when they took that robot to America.
The
Americans, they don't take kindly to you bringing terrible robots there. So they were like, oh, you've bought 4 tiny useless robots. You can go in with Son of Waiachi. Which is basically an automatic loss in every way imaginable.
Basically, there are a few robots that would be more humiliating, only really Tombstone.
I don't even know, because at least with Tombstone, at least there's a part of it you could theoretically hit.
That's true.
With Son of Waiachi, the only thing you're going to hit is a giant spinning blade.
This is always the thing with Tombstone. It's a testament to the guys driving that it's got really vulnerable wheels, but no one has ever hit them.
Yeah, I mean, part of the reason why, I mean, I have discussed Tombstone's design before, and this kind of goes back to the previous point I was making earlier about optimizing and finding ways around problems.
Yeah.
Ray Billings, if you look at because I've actually got a miniature model of Tombstone in my room, which is remote controlled. It's one of the Hexbug ones.
Oh, nice.
which is to scale. And one thing you notice when it's in motion is that when the blade is spinning, it's wider than the rest of the robot.
Yes.
And because it extends so far from the robot's shell, he can basically use the blade as a shield to protect the rest of the body.
Yeah.
So the exposed wheels don't actually matter because you can't hit them anyway because you're just going to hit the blade.
Yeah, you kind of have to hit him from behind somehow. And then, even then...
The problem is he can just then turn the blade into you as you go around him.
Yeah. This is sort of the issue. In the hands of a weaker driver, there may be a way around it. But not against Ray Billings.
Not Ray Billings. And his engineering is good enough to the point where you can't really rely on wearing it down because it just doesn't wear down very easily.
Yeah. There are so many other robots where if you can keep them going long enough, then you'll beat them. There's one... Which one was it? I can't remember what it was, but it was fairly recent where...
Well, Carbide suffered a lot from that.
Yes! That's true.
Carbide, quite a few robots managed to, beat or at least come close to beating Carbide by outlasting it. You can't outlast Tombstone.
The thing with Carbide is if you could take a couple of hits from its blade, then it would basically tear itself apart. And there's a lot of robots in BattleBots that are like that as well.
Tombstone's not one of them.
No, Tombstone is not one of them. I'm trying to think if what was it, the last title battle, I think it was? Where someone basically managed to win just by blocking the blade for long enough.
That was Bite Force.
That was it, yeah.
Yeah. He basically won by just using a wedge and blocking the blade and just pushing it around until the judges kind of said, well, Bite Force is more aggressive, so it won. And then they nerfed that method of beating it, so it was like, okay.
Yep.
Primary weapons, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, that's not a terrible idea at all.
Yeah, no, we're not just going to have Chomp win every single fight by falling over.
Okay, Chansey did something.
Just to give that context for anybody who doesn't get it, the way the primary weapon rule works in BattleBots is basically the equivalent of being in a boxing match and winning a fight by running around and spinning your arms around.
Oh dear.
Now that I'd watch.
Oh yeah, it'd be great. That's pretty much what it amounts to. So you can imagine how stupid that is just from that example.
Yes.
But that's, at the end of the day, let's not take anything away from robots like Tombstone, who are still, very good.
Oh dear.
But again, it's a case of, finding ways of working around certain problems rather than trying to just cover them up.
That worked quite well.
I think someone else described that with Nuts too. With the way its weapon works, and it's like, well, flails don't do much damage to armor, and it's like it doesn't need to because it just moves around the armor and hits you anyway.
Yeah, that worked quite well for it.
Well, it beat Carbide with it.
It did.
I like the Nuts team. I like the fact that they're cider farmers and they've just built this like flailing mad robot.
Random.
Yes.
That's always very funny. Yeah. There's always been kind of both BattleBots and Robot Wars have been brilliant for that. There's such a kind of weird and wonderful cast of people driving.
It really
robots,
is.
Building and driving robots.
Yeah.
And it's like you've got everything from people like Ray Billings who are, let's be honest, consummate professionals and heels. To
Ray Billings is a fantastic heel.
He is, and because the thing is, he's a really nice guy.
He is.
In reality, but he knows how to play the heel.
Yeah, he's very, very good.
Even
though he kind of undermined it a bit with the Gigabyte fight when he ripped that guy's shell off and he's like, dude, stop moving. And then the guy stopped moving and he was like, yeah, I'm just going to let you. I'll let you get carried out. I'm going to trash you.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose if he did trash you, that would kind of be crossing the line between being a heel and a heel.
Encounters.
I think it's one of those things where there are certain battles where just completely trashing the opponent is deserved, and in terms of sportsmanship, the right thing to do in terms of putting on a good show. And sometimes, sometimes it isn't.
That's new.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, I know that there's been some grudges.
Neat.
Some of them, like I know, the guys on Cinema actually said they actually wanted to retire Ghost Raptor.
Yes,
they wanted to destroy it.
Yeah.
And it pretty much did.
Oh yeah. Who was it? It was Bashbots this season. They basically fought, and then 20 seconds in, got the whole. They were a spinning drum, like a full body spinner, and they basically just got hit once, and the whole thing popped off. It was great.
That was Gigabyte against Tombstone.
Oh, that was it. Yeah, that was brilliant.
The thing is, though, is you almost saw it coming because on the first hit, you see the holding bolt from the top of the robot come flying out the top.
Yep.
And you're like, wait a minute, there's nothing holding this down anymore, is there? But it's still spinning because obviously it's still got the momentum going, so it's just spinning on top of the shell, on top of the rest of the machine.
Yeah.
Was this attached to it?
Was this the one where once it's popped the top off, they hit the actual robot and it just sheared in half, didn't it?
That was a different fight. That was Ice Wave against Vanquish.
Oh, apologies. Yeah. That was impressive.
That's a similar thing though, because it's like as Ice Wave is hitting Vanquish, you can see all the bolts popping out.
Yeah.
And eventually it just tears. It rips out enough bolts to the point where it just rips the entire thing in two pieces.
But eventually, it's just robot gore.
Pretty much, yeah. Like BattleBots has been fantastic. This version of BattleBots has been absolutely. I mean, BattleBots has always been great, but this series is one of the best, if not the best.
Damn.
So much fun. Hi, Ghastly.
Yeah, at some point I kind of realized that I'm not going to be using it anyway. Why should I bother catching it?
Well, you can't get Gengar anyway because you can't trade.
Yeah, but honestly, I kind of have plans for ghosts at some point in this game, and the Ghastly line is not one of them. But
yeah, you should have got the. Oh yeah, you can't get. Can you get? When do you get the Drifloon? What day does it turn up?
Friday.
Today's Friday.
During the day, isn't it?
Ah.
Also, on my end, today is Saturday.
Oh yeah, good point.
Yeah, it is.
Foiled by the international
Saturday.
Saturday for us as well, yeah.
All the time. That's unfortunate.
It's all quite alright though. I was kind of planning on Frostlass anyway.
Yeah, I
remember you mentioning it before, yeah.
I've never actually trained the thing before, I mean properly, and I like it, so yeah.
Yes, I did train one once.
It just kind of strikes me as really hilarious that a lot of this team I have got planned is like a bunch of weird stone evolutions.
It makes it relatively easy to do, though. That's a terrible joke.
Oh dear.
Oh, there we go.
Oh dear. Now I got a synth bell. And the first thing I'm going to do is to give Ariel that, because I might just do a tiny bit of off-screen grinding at some point between this stream and the next one, because
does Synth Bell increase your happiness the rate that it goes up?
Yeah, it does. And basically because Badu only evolves during the daytime with happiness, I'm going to have to do a bit of off-screen grinding to actually get that thing to where I want it to. Oh, right, there's a bunch of fishermen here before I actually get to Eterna, so might as well give Ariel. I've had Videl out all this time.
Yes.
Yep.
Might as well give Ariel a few fights before we finish this.
Yeah, sounds good.
Just need to get to Eterna before hell breaks loose. So yeah, basically, I did what I figured I would end up doing today. Mucking around with plants, and a whole lot of them.
Nothing wrong with that.
I mean, yeah, you've got...
Wait, is this the 6 Magikarp guy?
No, not yet. This guy has a Goldeen. I think the 6 Magikarp guy shows up there a bit later. Might be on this route too, but...
Why do they keep putting this guy in the games?
For the same reason they have a Rattata, dude.
The thing is the 6 Magikarp dude was funny in Gen 1. He was never funny again.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for the one game where he actually forms a Megazord out of them.
He just has like 6 Gyarados. That would be pretty awesome, actually. Randy still gets swept by an electric type, but it doesn't matter.
Have I mentioned I deeply detest Supersonic?
Everybody's Supersonic racing.
I think someone I did see I think somebody modded one of the Sonic game. So instead of Super Sonic, he goes Ultra Instinct instead.
Oh god.
I like that.
It's basically the exact same Sonic, except he's white instead of yellow.
Oh dear.
And naturally, when he transforms, it plays the Ultimate Battle music from Dragon Ball Super. You know the one. Which actually fits very well in a Sonic game, as it happens.
Oh, yep, I can imagine.
Nothing's better. I guess I could use a break with my 6 Magikarp. Ah well, free food. In which I just picturing this entire battle, just Ariel sort of clamping onto their like head fin and just kind of shaking them slightly while absorbing all their energy. Because I drink people.
I understood that reference.
I understood that reference.
Drains.
See, if they were to have a trainer using 6 Metapods, they would have to call him Richard. I hope somebody gets that.
Richard Cranium.
Yep.
I forget what Worry Seed even does. Alright, I think it's like, nope, you can't sleep. Ah well, might as well replace water sports since...
Yeah, Worry Seed's kind of terrible.
Yeah, I mean, it's pointless, but whatever, it can be here for a while, until a better move comes along. Actually, I don't know. I actually need to look into what Badu even gets, and what Roselia gets, so I can know when's like a good level to actually get it out of this stupid tight.
I know Roserade gets quite a few TM moves.
Roserade, actually, a lot of the moves it gets that are Roserade is basically a fighter of balls: Shadow Ball, Energy Ball, Weather Ball, obviously Sludge Bomb, which is considered a ball move
as well, but yeah. I think he gets extra sensory at one point as well.
It does at some points, but I'm not sure. I mean, I think I might actually have it. I think that because basically I was sort of thinking about having the Sludge Bomb and some grass move for the stab, and then Weather Ball and well, at first I thought using one of the weather effects as like a whatever, but then I realized that I'm going to have a Houndoom and a this Float Cell, so it's probably not going to be worth it. But you know,
well, to be fair, I mean, rain isn't too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially in this generation.
Yeah, I mean, so water-type Weather Ball's not exactly going to be a bad thing to have, and if it powers up Float Cell as well, plus it neutralizes the fire weakness.
Yeah.
So Roserade's got pretty good special defense as well. So
I like Roserade, like a lot.
Roserade's very good. Although I do feel it kind of suffered a bit of power creep problems itself after Gen 4.
And that's why, and that's one of the reasons I wouldn't mind seeing it get a Mega Evolution.
It definitely would be worthy of having one, because, to be honest, it was a Mega Evolution that rendered it kind of moon in the first place, that being Mega Venusaur.
Yeah, Mega Venusaur. To be fair, Mega Venusaur is a complete nut and monster.
Oh, it is. It's really good.
Love that thing.
Yeah, chat, use Mega Venusaur, it's very good. Like, so on the sort of, because Roserade was reasonably bulky, or at least could be used to that effect. But then Mega Venusaur kind of turned up and said, yeah, that's my job now. And then on the attacking side, it's like, yeah, but I'm better than that. And then Contrary Superior turned up and it's like, well, yeah, I'm better than you now.
Yeah, it's kind of a problem.
Yeah.
Although, Roserade does have the advantage of being able to... You can actually stick a weather move or use it in a doubles team with something that does weather. And then just kind of deploy Weather Ball and just confuse the shite out of everything. It's a good Pokemon.
Even with that, I'd probably use Lurantis instead now.
Well, yeah, Lurantis is...
It gets Contrary as well, which is kind of cheating.
Yeah, pretty much.
Contrary's basically Roserade's worst nightmare at the moment.
Basically.
In fact, the Mega Roserade should just have Contrary and just leave it at that. It's like, can't beat him, join him. There, done. Mega Roserade and Contrary, that'll get banned so fast.
I know, right? does anything use water sports?
I don't know. I guess they thought it was a good move at the time and they made it.
Either that or no, it's.
I do actually like kind of wonder, like for some of them, do they make some of these moves with the intention of having them be completely and utterly worthless in every way imaginable?
I think so, to some extent, anyway.
I mean, I suppose they can't give you like all the strong moves right at the start, so you need to have some lower level moves at the beginning. But at least stuff like, you know, tackle is useful. It does damage, you know. And then you got moves like water sport, which are just like there's not really any situation where it's useful.
Yeah.
I have to admit that I'm kind of surprised by the rates in which I'm gaining levels here.
The level curve's not too bad at the start of Gen 4. It tends to flatten out over like after a while.
Yeah, once you kind of hit the Elite Four,
it kind of
starts.
slows the mountain.
Really,
well, yeah, but for this particular bit of the in-game, where I mean, I basically planned on having a Roserade in this particular run right from the start, and I was kind of really worried that, you know, it's Badu. Badu is kind of, well, from my experience so far, it was completely and utterly worthless. And here we have Ariel. And she's kind of murdering everything. A bit slower than I'd expect her to, but she is still kind of murdering everything. Wait, where am I going?
This Badu finds a way.
Pretty much.
Well, I mean, Badu is the champ now. She beat Pachirisu earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty much.
People's champ.
Yep.
All hail.
Oh, hail.
So, like, John Cena's on the Gen 5 stream.
Yeah,
pretty much, yeah. And there we are, Eterna City. Now,
it's another one, actually, where I really wasn't expecting Throw to be up to much. I was expecting it to sort of flatten a few normal types and then be pretty much useless, but it's proved to be really, really good.
Yeah, I think Throw's one of them ones at the start. I think it probably will, I wouldn't say drop off, but it will probably balance out a little bit as the game progresses and things.
I think so, yeah. Especially because it's got no progression, it's got no evolution or anything. Whereas everything else does.
Right.
In response to Kai's comment on chat, we don't even have those!
Why would you use a dirty pedo Dragonite anyway?
I don't know, some people actually like the thing for some reason. God knows why.
I did use one on my rain team because I quite like chucking Hurricane at things. But apart from that, no.
Anyway, we finally made it to Eterna City and we are 16 minutes overdue, so it is probably time to shut this stream down. It's been great as usual. I've been StellaWindLcidian. I still am StellaWindLcidian, but I'm not so live anymore. And with me have been...
I have been Teapot. I don't know if I will be tomorrow.
I'm Cole. I'll always be Cole, and absolutely nothing else.
I'm mostly Prof Sinters, occasionally not.
Yeah, sometimes you're a pigeon.
Inside joke, ho!
Who are you calling a hoe? Anyway, and on that bombshell, tomorrow Dr. Oak will be running through Johto again, and the day after we'll have Teapot running through Unova again. So stay tuned to whenever you stay tuned. And yeah, Armblades out, yo.
See ya.
Bye.
Laters.